Angels, welcome back for another channeled message of what Spirit wants you to know right now. If you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you're turning star family, how you doing? It's your girl, Lady Leo. We're going to dive into the energies. Be sure to hit the like button so you can dive in with me. First, we're going to cleanse and set the space. Call in Spirit. All right. Hope that y'all been well. I've got my Dragon's Blood Sage real quick. Hi, Yabada. Hi, BB. Forever. Arkansas Girl. Meow. Hi, Araceli. How y'all doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. Or it's Thursday, isn't it? Is it Thursday or Friday? I don't even know anymore. It's been a crazy week. I've got one person in line right now, Araceli. Yeah, by the way, I've got personals open after collective messages. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal at Lady Leo Spiritual. Same spelling is here. It's $11 for a mini, $22 for career, $33 for love, and $44 for a full extended. If you're wanting a private reading, you can find those at ladyleospiritual.com, among other things. All right, y'all. We got a good burn. Cleanse your energy. Good juju for you. Hi, Richard. Welcome back, Richard. Hey, AI555TT. Cleanse my energy. Good evening, good morning, depending on where you're at. Hi, Ash, only one. Shannon, Araceli, I just got it, love. All right, let's get some, y'all, we're about to need a new Palo Santo. We're down to like a little nub. Hey, thanks for the love. Send all that love and light back to you, Tom's 10. I'll ring the bell for you. You're gonna do a mini. Hi, Bree. How you doing, Bree? Clemmy. Welcome, y'all. Okay, I got to be careful because I've got nails on. And I don't want them to melt. Hi, Becca. How you doing, Becca? Welcome. You started using Palo Santo, too? Oh, I got a story to tell y'all. So, I don't know. Those of you that are here all the time, you notice I've got a necklace that I wear all the time. And it's a Hamza. It's my favorite necklace. Well, I woke up out of a sleep. Early morning, 3:30. Literally, I looked at my phone. It was 3:30 in the morning. And my daughter was up. I said, BBG, what are you doing up? Protect your energy. Protect my energy. Good juju for you. Good juju for me. She said, I was getting me something to eat, Mom. I'm hungry. I was like, okay, you get done, you go back to bed. So we get into a conversation. She says, well, she's like, I was sitting in the living room and I heard tapping on the window. She goes, sounded like that, like somebody was tapping on the window. I said, interesting. I was like, when y'all were away and I was here by myself, it's like I heard some tapping on the window above me. So we got to talking about that, and all of a sudden my Hamza chain broke. The whole necklace broke. I was like, oh, that's freaky. That's freaky. So I don't know if y'all knew about stuff like pendants, crystals, evil eyes, Hamzas, crosses, anything that has some sort of like spiritual significance to you and it represents protection and it breaks. It means it took the hit for you. It means you're being protected. It's doing what it is that it's doing. So I got to get me a new chain. I have to do my whole cleansing it, but that happened yesterday. Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. Hi, Chrissy. Kay, Go, Sydney, Diana, Christina, Gina, Leslie. What's going on, y'all? Welcome. A few months ago, I saw a lady on my couch and she disappeared. Yeah, see... I know somebody came and popped in here the other day and said something about talking to people that had passed over. Like, I don't like tapping into those types. I don't want to see it in my physical reality. I don't want to hear it in my physical reality. I get messages from my guys. I get downloads. In my mind's eye, in my mind's ear. You know, clear cognate. I get premonitions through dreams and things like that. I don't like to see it. I don't want to hear it. Not in my physical reality. That's just me. I don't like to conjure shit up. If it's been buried, but it's meant to be buried. Now, spirit, as in God's source, universe, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, if they want to give me a message from someone else's passed over loved one, then that's something different. but there's a buffer there. You know. All right, y'all. This is going to be a little bit more of a chill message. Yeah, you too. I didn't know what that was. Yeah, that's freaky. That freaked me out. Same things with like aliens and those sorts of things. Hey, thank you, Richie Rich. How you doing? Welcome back. Some of the love right back to you, Tom's 10. Hi, Cherie. What's going on? Hi, Maggie. Thanks for all the love, Richie Rich. I see you. The same thing with aliens, like UFOs. Y'all, there's one time. This was years ago. I was outside real late. It was early morning hours. And I was just staring up at the stars. And all of a sudden, I saw something funky. It was a green light, but it was zigzagging all the way through the sky. And, you know, I'm having to stare at it hardcore because I want to make sure that I haven't totally lost my mind. And it went from, like, I saw it, like, right when it could get into my vision all the way till I couldn't see it anymore. And I watched this little green thing flying. That freaked me out. I don't want to see it. Kind of like them people that went to Area 51 protesting. I'm like, what are y'all doing? You know them people got orders. They got to follow the orders they were given. If you get unalived, it's because you're not supposed to see what's on the other side of the fence. That's all you need to know. Anyway, okay. We're going to stay on topic. I've had that happen with necklace and rings. Yeah, see, that's not the first time it's happened. That's just my favorite necklace. And it broke. Well, the pendant didn't break. But I've had that happen too. I used to have a really favorite necklace. It was a labradorite crystal. It was a big oval. I used to wear it. I used to never take it off. And it fell off the chain and broke. I was heartbroken over that one. But anyway, yeah, so if y'all have pendants that break or crystals, like crystal bracelets, those break. Now, if it's a crystal bracelet, you're supposed to bury it or, you know, have like a little ceremony to let it go because it's done its job. It's leaving you for a reason. Or if crystals find you, it has like a purpose. So, hi, artists. How you doing, artists? Hi, Steph, David, Jason. How you doing, y'all? Hi, Jonna. Richard says, good, not much, just cruising by. You just popping in? Hi, David. Welcome back, David. Welcome, y'all. Hi, Rebuilt. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a little bit more of a chill. It's supposed to be. I don't know, y'all. I usually end up getting sassy at some point. I tap into one of y'all's haters. And I started getting sassy. It's supposed to be a chill read. So we'll see how it goes. Best and highest message here, Spirit. What do we need to know? What do we need to see? What do we need to hear? Thanks for the love. Send all that love like back to you, times 10. Been missing the sassy? Hi, Deborah. That's what I'm known for. I'm a little blunt sometimes. I don't have much of a filter. I try to keep a filter. I try to be nice. Then my Leo comes out. I try to be sweet. Like these little kitty cats in here. Sometimes the lioness comes out. Get a little savage. All right, Spirit. Best and highest messages here. What do we need to know? What do we need to see? What do we need to hear? Hi, Yellow Cakes. Hi, Omar. What's just in the energy? What's just in the energy? I'm getting a lot of weird stuff. I started talking about aliens, and now I'm like, it's supposed to be more spiritual than it is about extraterrestrials, extra dimensionals. All right, Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher, or priest or priestess. So this is one of those energies where you have a lot of knowledge in a certain something, or maybe just in general, and there's a lot of people that come to you for mentorship. And it's like, this is not something that you learned out of a textbook or that you just read about. It's something that like you have experience in. You know, those are the best teachers, are the ones that are either self-taught or they have the experience of doing it. I mean, think of it. Would you want to go to a therapist that just read out of a textbook but never experienced what it is that they're supposed to be helping people through, like their trauma that they've been through? It's not like that. So you have a lot of skill set or knowledge in a certain topic or subject, or maybe you don't. Maybe this doesn't even have anything to do with your career. So you're being looked at as like a mentor or a guide to somebody. A guiding light. The golden children, inner child tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. I just said that. Look, there's a portal there too. By the way, we just had the 1111 portal open. It's open until March 11th because of where Jupiter's placed. And this is one of the biggest portals that it is that we have going through, like starting with like January 1st. But 1111 is especially special because it's all about manifestation. And here in the States, we're entering into holiday season. Well, really we have. You know, you're hearing the music all over the radio. They start that Halloween. I heard the first ad. It was Christmas music. I was like, we can't even get through Halloween before we start playing Christmas music. Can we get through one holiday before we get to the next? They're already starting the retail. Hey, darling, how you doing? Love and light. Hi, Anthony, Ethan, Anima, South Haven Princess. How you doing? I'm Angela. I want to know, is my ex ever coming back to me? I still love him. You want to get in line for a reading? Hi, Sam. How you doing, Sam? Psychic Man. Thank you for the gifts, y'all. Love and light back to you times 10. Wait a minute, are you in here poaching and then sending gifts? Inbox me your for an accurate reading. That's poaching. That's rude. You want me to come do that to you? You want to go live? I start asking your people, hey, you want an accurate reading? Come see me. Just saying. Hi, Lance. How you doing? Hi, Rangoon. How y'all doing, Lips? All right, share your voice. Come out of the cave, persecution and expression. Yeah, see, there's something that you're supposed to like speak up about. You're supposed to talk about or share. You've been through a certain experience where other people could get a lot of benefits off hearing your story. What you've been through. You know, you like my laugh? Hi, Dragana, how you doing? Poach, I know. I see him. Hey, look. Spirit to get him. Spirit to get them. Innocent rare gifts. Yeah, I was talking about the portal. Manifestation. So 1111 is a lot about, like, usually when we have a spiritual awakening, you'll start seeing 1111 everywhere. I don't know if that's been y'all's experience. That was definitely mine. And I know that's shared. It's like a phenomenon. It's almost like wishing on a star too. So you like see 1111, you're supposed to make a wish, you know, or like making a wish on a star. So think about that. And then I was talking about holiday season. You know, there's a lot of that balanced energy of give and take, right? We're gifting people, but we're also receiving a lot of gifts. So it's very, you know, there's a lot of give and take just collectively during this time. You keep seeing, yeah, I see it all the time. All the time. But that's one way that you know that you're communicating with something that's, it's not necessarily, it's outside of yourself, but it's also internal. You know, it's like confirmation that we're all connected in a way. And then how could we not be? Like we learned that early in grade school. I can remember learning that really early in grade school. 12:21 on the clock, 3:3. Nothing can be created nor destroyed. Well, if that's true, and most of everything's got carbon in it, we're really just stardust, you know? Yo, we going way off. We have one of them deep channeled messages. But there's some sort of traumatic something that you've been through, or some sort of hardship. Maybe not even just one. This could be just like a lifetime. I'm not a doctor. Do your own research, y'all. I don't know shit. I just live here. But it's kind of like complex trauma. You know, you've been through something just horrific. And before you can even process what the fuck just happened, something else happens. And then again, you know, maybe I was just talking about that. Maybe you're somebody that looks up at the stars. Maybe I was supposed to bring that up for somebody else. Look, there's even a beam coming down. There's the pyramids back there. Getting a little bit. This is going to be an out there type of reading. I can already tell. There's like one of them star seeds. Indigo children. We won't get into blood type. We won't go there. Not yet, at least. Maybe I'll save that for like a exclusive live stream. We'll talk about those things. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 all the time? That means it's all coming together in steps. So usually you'll see like a series. It won't be for everybody. It's not all the time. It's not like a set thing that happens, you know. But what, just in my own experience and sharing with others, you know, hear about other people's experiences, you'll see a lot of like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then eventually you'll start seeing like 4, 5, 6 or 5, 6, 7, 8. Like the series and numbers will go up. And it's like you shifted into the next level of something. Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. Starseed Gang Gang. I see you, Desiree. D-Lo Rebel. Thank you for the follow, love. Christine, do you want to get in line for a reading? Can you help me figure out if this guy is real or not? You can get in line for a reading. We can definitely get the tea. That's what I'm here for. Thanks for the love and send all that love and light back to you, times 10. Yeah, we've got Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. So look, these are all the Ascended Masters, and there's a lot of different like spiritual leaders, if you will, on this card. I mean, we've got Jesus, we've got Mother Mary, we've got Mary Magdalene, we've got Buddha. And then there's like these little dots here. Like cosmic alignment there almost. Or spiritual alignment. Put it where it fits. Don't make it fit. So see, there's even something that it is that like you're aware of. Oh, okay, this is getting really, really deep. So like if you're aware of it, it's aware of you. So it's like one of those things where like if you're aware that the matrix exists, the matrix is aware that you exist. And it's almost like the deeper that you get into like diving into those different rabbit holes when you have your spiritual awakening, you know, whatever phase it is that you're in on your journey, it's like the more that you become aware of it, becomes aware of you. Sometimes that's in a really positive way, like actually being able to communicate with your guides and understanding like what it is that like you're picking up on, like reading energy, you know. But it can be like a really dark thing sometimes. It can be kind of negative, or we experience as a negative thing, because we can pick up on those darker energies as well. So if we're aware of it, it's aware of us. Ooh, I just got chills. But know that you have helpers, okay? You're not here alone, even though you may feel like you're alone. You're connected to something. Especially those of you that have been like in a car accident. It could have been way worse than it really was. I felt so protected. I was in a car accident. I used to have this Trailblazer. Y'all, that was my favorite car I've ever had. And it was the extended one. So I had the third row seat in the back. It was 4-wheel drive. Had leather seats and a sunroof. God, I love that vehicle. Well, I went to go see Batman in the theaters. And had my infant with me. He started getting fussy. Well, at the time, my husband was a huge Batman fan. And I know he'd been really waiting to see this movie. So I got the baby. And I told him I'm going to go to the boardwalk. I'm going to go walk around the beach for a little while. So he could finish out the movie. And we lived on a military base. So we had gone with a group of people. So they were going to finish the movie. And I got baby and I went and put him in the car. And we get on the highway and we get going. Well, he starts crying. So I reached back and I pop his passy in his mouth. But I went off the road and I overcorrect and I end up flipping over into a ditch upside down. It just rained, so the ditch was full of water. And I knew I was going to flip. Something told me I was going to flip. It's like weird. It's almost like time slowed down, but it was going so fast at the same time. Like I didn't have enough time to like, because I panicked. You know, they say you fuck up when you panic. I did. I panicked. So anyways, like I knew I was going to flip. So it's like, I was just thinking, it's like as soon as the car stops, I'm going to unbuckle my seatbelt and I'm going to get to the back seat. So it did. It flips over. I undo my seatbelt. I hit the roof. I get to the back and my son's head's underwater. Well, also the seatbelt buckle got jammed. You know, it's got that 5-point seatbelt buckle for infants in a rear-facing car seat, you know. So I kept trying, I had to hold his head up with my knee, and I kept trying to get the seatbelt unbuckled. And luckily, like I said, it was a military town, so everybody pulled over. There's so many people on the side of the road. I couldn't get there was so much sludge and mud in the door, I couldn't get it open by myself. So somebody was having to like pull it, and I was having to kick it while holding my son. And we walked away with just bruises. It could have been so much worse. Had I been just a little bit further up, we would have been in there's been a lot more water because it's on the way to the beach. It's out in Morehead City, North Carolina. It was scary, but I knew I was meant to be here after that. One of those experiences. So I don't know what the message is so far, or I can get a message up until this point. But there's a message here. You've been through a lot, and other people can benefit off you sharing your story. How you've overcome it, what it is that you've experienced. It's like true grit. I heard something about true grit. You've got true grit. Council of Light, helpers in the subtle realms. Come out of the cave. Come out of hiding. It's time to express yourself. Share your voice. Because you're part of the golden children. Some people call it the chosen. Don't get so caught up on the belief system. I'm an omniist. I believe that all religions hold truths, but no one religion holds all the truths. Does that make sense? I like to learn about a lot of them, except for the darker ones. All right, Spirit. Sometimes you got to learn about that stuff so you know how to protect yourself. I learned that the hard way, y'all. When you start coming out of the spiritual closet and you have some of these dark covens and groups and cults, and they be doing all types of shiesty shit behind the scenes. You got to do some digging and figure out what the hell did they send your way so you can undo it. That's fun. All right, Spirit, what else is here? That's weird. The whole track changed. Purity, 417 hertz, 741 hertz, detox and cleansing. Weird, y'all. I've had it on a freaking 3-hour ADHD cognition enhancer track, and it switched over to this. It was supposed to be 3 hours long. I've been live for 30 minutes. 417. Somebody's birthday or maybe a date has something to do with April 7th, April 17th, January 4th. Something about 1983. I don't know who that's for. That's weird. Do you think significant happened in 1983? I need to look that up. We're going to look that up. 14. Hi, Geofin. How you doing, love? Mercury retrograding for sure. I'm glad okay, too. Thank you. Hi, Advo. How you doing, Advo? Welcome. She said 1988. Something about the 80s, y'all. I'm going to look it up real quick. Can't remember exactly 83 or 84. Usually I hear 85, 1985. Whoa. Okay, so this is what it says. Okay, so this is for both the spiritually and in the UFO alien world. While it wasn't a harmonic convergence year, that was 1987. 1983 actually was a pivot point energetically, especially in ways that weren't understood until later. A massive collective timeline shift year. We have a massive collective timeline shift year now. Energetically, many astrologers and metaphysical historians describe 1983 as a pressure portal year. What? A year of intense global tension, fear, and polarity. Spiritually, years that trigger quantum leaps in collective consciousness because pressure creates awakening. Think of 1983 as a year where the collective shadow was activated so humanity would eventually push toward higher consciousness. Many starseeds and lightworkers born in or around this year carry a crisis-born healer signature. What? He was born in 1982, 1983. We'll look that up in just a minute. I don't know why this is important tonight. I don't know why y'all are in here, why you need to hear something that we're talking about. This is more of one of those. Probably should have saved this for like an exclusive live stream. Saturn Pluto influences power karma collapse. Yeah, we're feeling that right now, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. I'm getting chills like crazy. And I know I'm not cold. I got on a damn turtleneck and a sweater. Or a hoodie. I've got my Uggs on. Karmic cycles ending. Power structures being exposed. Deep spiritual tests. Destruction and rebirth cycles. This combo often triggers global awakening patterns and restructuring of collective consciousness. It was a cosmic pressure cooker for humanity's psyche. This is past the shift. You're 84. Hi, Bulldog. How you doing? So 1983 was one of the years. Wait, okay. Hold on. Let me back up. Expansion of the New Age. Oh, yeah. Something about Hemisync. Have you ever heard of Hemisync with the Monroe Institute? I don't know if I need to be talking about this shit right now. We're going to go with it. Massive growth in meditation, interest in reincarnation, channeling, especially with Pleiadians and Arcturians. Remote viewing programs quietly expanding. I was just talking about remote viewing. Early teachings on ascension timelines. This was the early wave that later exploded in the 90s and the 2000s. Aliens and UFO related events in 1983. While it wasn't a Roswell year, 1983 actually had several under the radar but important extraterrestrial moments. Oh God, y'all, this is getting interesting. I don't know if y'all are into weird stuff like this. Are y'all nerdy like that? I'm nerdy like that. I'm all about it. We're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. One of the largest... Wait, the UFO flap in the Hudson Valley. I've never heard of that. 1982 to 1986. It's called the UFO flap. Have y'all ever heard of that? She's like, I'm 60 years young, boo. My eldest son was born in 83 and my daughter 82, married in 84, youngest born in 89. Wow. Hi, Messina. That's why we're here. Most of the time, if y'all resonate with me the way that y'all do, y'all are in here all the time. Y'all are weird ones like I am. We get that reputation, don't we? That's all right. That's all right. Okay, so it was one of the largest, most witnessed UFO waves in history was happening during this exact period, peak in 1983. Thousands reported huge silent V-shaped craft, hovering lights, massive craft over high. Yo, I was just talking about my funky ass UFO experience. I don't know if it was a UFO, like an alien actually. It could have been a satellite that was zigzagging. I don't know. It made me think differently. I'll tell you that. Anyway, massive craft over highways. Craft so large they blocked out the sky. This is one of the most credible mass UFO incidents ever recorded, and 1983 was right in the center of it. Y'all, what the hell are we tapping into? We're not weird, we're unique. Hey, you know the ancient meaning of weird was seer? It was actually like something sacred. Like people suck out the weird one. It mean they had like some sort of spiritual gifts about them. They're actually looked up to. It's like that's ancient though. People don't use it in that way anymore, right? We changed the meanings of words now. So like unalive, we got to talk in code. We got to come up with our own lingo. So we're not getting flagged and censored, you know? Wow, y'all, this is really, really interesting. So some witnesses included police officers, pilots, and entire neighborhoods. Remote viewing and Stargate program fully active. I don't even know if I need to be talking about this right now. All right, so the CIA and U.S. military psychic spy program was in full swing in 1983. Hey, Tejano, how you doing? Welcome, y'all. I see UFO right outside my window and several times again as an adult. I hold that title with pride. That's why I say we're going to wear that with a badge of honor. I'm a weird one. You can call me weird. I don't care. I've been called way worse. Okay, so it says, all right, psychic spy program was in full swing in 1983. A now famous remote viewing session from this period includes missions where viewers claim to perceive non-human intelligences, sessions exploring Mars, the moon, and other star systems, visions of ancient alien civilizations. Even though much was declassified later, 1983 is known as one of the peak operational years. What? The 1983 Planet X Nibiru announcement. NASA briefly released information suggesting a possible large planet or object beyond Pluto based on infrared satellite readings, IRAS. Although later walked back, many believe something was detected. Data was softened for the public. This fueled later Nibiru and dark star theories. The rumor began in 1983 and has never gone away. 4. A major year for Pleiadian and extraterrestrial channeling. The early 80s brought waves of contact and channeling, but 1983 specifically saw the rise of Pleiadian messages, Arcturian downloads, Orion and Andromedan starseed information, teachings on galactic families, first versions of what we now call ascension doctrine. Many spiritual teachers from that era cite 1983 as the year they began receiving transmissions. 5. Starseed wave bursts. Many starseed incarnated during the early mid-80s, especially blue rays, indigos, grid workers, and timeline stabilizers. 1983 is considered a year of powerful incarnations tied to the 144,000 archetype, the rise of divine feminine consciousness, and karmic breaker lineages. In summary, yes, 1983 was spiritually significant, not because of one single event, but because it was a convergence year. Massive UFO activity, psychic programs running at full power, a wave of starseed incarnations, rise in channeling and New Age teachings, collective karmic shift after Saturn-Pluto, Planet X or IRAS mystery, energy of pressure to awakening. It was a shadow activation year that triggered a long-term spiritual awakening cycle. Wow. Okay. So, let me ask you this. Do we want to talk more about the timeline of this shadow activation period? Or do we want to know more about like starseed characteristics? I'm gonna let y'all ask. Y'all tell me. Hi Ashley's Dream, how you doing, love? Hi Jorge. Welcome, y'all. And all that love and light back to you, Tom's 10. I appreciate all the way that you show support. Starseed characteristics. Y'all want to know more about the characteristics? Okay. I'm down if you down. Yeah? Y'all want to know that? Hi, Maggie. Hi, Maricela. Hi, Tabitha. Okay. All right. So these apply whether someone is indigo, crystalline, rainbow, blue ray, Pleiadian, Arcturian, Syrian, Lyran, or a hybrid soul. So 1, you've always felt older than your age, even as a kid. You weren't fooled by adults. You understood emotional undercurrents. You asked deep spiritual or existential. Y'all know I'm from Mississippi. I don't say shit right. I murdered that. Existential questions. You felt like a guardian, not a child. Starseeds incarnate with ancient soul memory, so the human age never matches the soul age. Peace and blessings. How you doing? You have proof of blackmailing and threatening people's lives. Wait, what do you mean? What you talk about, Willis? Boo, be true. What do you, wait, what? Who's blackmailing who? Hi, Ona. Hi, Andrew. 2, hyper-intuitive prophetic dreams or psychic flashes. You know things without knowing how you know. Oh yeah, that's claircognizance. You just know shit. It's like a blessing and a curse. I'm claircognizant. Like you just know shit and you don't even know how the hell you know that. It could be trippy. And you can't control it either. It's not like you can just like, okay, this is what it is I want to know, and you know it. Like it just happens. You know? You know what I'm talking about? All right, it says many starseeds can time jump in dreams. Have you ever felt like you've done that before? Time jump in a dream? I can think of a couple of dreams I've time jumped. So it wasn't just like a funky dream. You were actually changing time. Receiving downloads. Visiting other realms. Communicate with guides during sleep. Hi, Isabel. How you doing, love? 144, yeah. Astro projection. Hi, Lone Wolf. Thank you so much for following. Thank you for sharing, y'all. My mom used to call me weird, too. My dad used to call me an old soul. I used to sit at the adult table with all the adults. Instead of sitting at the, you know, they had like the kiddie table. I just sit there and be real quiet and listen to everybody. But when then I get to talking, I wanted to have the conversations with adults about intellectual things. I had Barbies. I liked Barbies. I didn't want to talk about Barbies. That was an intimate thing. I didn't play with my Barbies, nobody else. I didn't want to talk about my Barbies. If we were talking about like deep conversations, I wanted to be at the adult table talking about all the deep shit. I can remember that. There was a guy from Australia that my dad used to work with. He used to work on he was in communications with like cell sites. He used to build cell sites for cell phones. You know how we have cell phone service? Beta gam sectors and all that shit. Building little radios in little buildings. Anyway, he worked with this guy from Australia and he always called him Dundee. This was his nickname. I remember him and Dundee sitting there. I remember my dad telling me, he's like, yeah, she's an old soul. I didn't know what that meant at first. It makes sense now. It clicks now. But anyway, maybe you feel like that. Okay, so it says, you can communicate with guides during your sleep. I've definitely done that. Y'all feel like you've done that before? Like you've actually like connected with guides while you're guides. Guides, guides in your sleep. You can feel timeline shifting. You know when a connection is about to end before anyone says a word. You sense when someone's lying or hiding something. Ooh, that's a big one. That can be a blessing and a curse. Sometimes I wish I could just go with the lie. Sometimes I wish I didn't know. You ever felt like that before? I felt like that. I'm like, Spirit, why do you have to show me that one? I could have gone the rest of my life without knowing the truth on that one. You ever felt like that before? Okay. You feel energy in your body when something is off or about to break. I did that one time. Like, I was talking about that car accident that I was in. There was another time I was a kid. Why are we having all these, like, funky, like, talk about childhood. Golden children. The things that it is that you've experienced in your life. You're supposed to help other people through that. Like, share your story, your experiences. That message came out. Share your voice. Divine orchestration. It all didn't happen for naught. All of it happened for a reason. All of it's connected. But yeah, I knew we were about to be in a car accident. It was just we just rear-ended. Somebody rear-ended us at a stop sign. So it wasn't like real serious or anything like that. But I knew it was about to happen. All right, it says, y'all ever had that happen before? Like you knew something was about to happen and then it happened. You're like, holy shit. That's trippy. Reminiscent the sister was. Yeah. It's like, drop that curtain. That's what Spirit does. Spirit drops the curtain. You're like, put it back up. I wish I didn't see it. I don't want to know no more. I don't want to know the truth. You can tell when portals open or cosmic cycles shift. I think when you're younger, I don't feel you really like understand entirely like what's happening when you're experiencing these things. You've never fit into normal society. All the time, deja vu. Let's be honest. You feel that one? Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. That's me, like premonitions. Yeah. That goes in my family though, Desiree. Do you know anybody else in your family that can do that? I've heard about other people in my family that can have premonitions. Reminder of the seasons we have overcome. Yeah. Hi, Carolyn. How you doing, Carolyn? I'm trying to go back up on the comments. I saw a movie about that and I still want to do that. Wait, I'm going up. Your grandma calls you a free spirit, Desiree? Maggie says, I thought I was the only one. Just no. Nope, you're not the only one. Nope, there's other people out there like that. Doesn't mean that you're any less special, boo-boo, though. It doesn't mean that you're any less special. It just means that you're not alone. I find comfort in that. Knowing other people can do that or have experiences like that, you know? It always made me feel like more comfort. Like, it's really happening. And then you can, like, have conversations about the experience that you're having. So, like, you can expand on that with somebody else and, like, connect in that way. That's always really nice. Because it can be really isolating. Especially knowing too much. Kind of like the gateway shit. Stargate. Remote viewing. Because you know the CIA only released like 0.5% of what it is that they do know. And the public, it's like they have a hard time accepting just that 0.5%. I mean, think about if they released all of it. People would be going freaking crazy. Whoa, confirmation. That's crazy. All right. So anyway, number 4. I see deja vu as spirit telling me I'm on the right path. Yeah. See, sometimes some people get messages in it like that. Sometimes it's like a deja vu as in... Okay, I don't know what that was. Anyway, sometimes deja vu is like you're remembering like a place that you've been before in another life. Sometimes deja vu can be like a glitch in the Matrix. Kind of like in the movie. It's a lot like in the movie. Like you see something, the deja vu happening. It's kind of like a glitch. Could be like a timeline jump, you know. All right, number 4. You've never fit into normal society. School felt wrong. Did y'all ever feel that? I downloaded them and had a wild experience with some drone following me, driving, flying real low at like 3 a.m. Hi, Jade. How you doing? She's like, Christy's like, I heard that. Randy and Yvette, but that's their definition word. Hi, Checkered Life. How you doing, Adam? Welcome. Your mom did? Got premonitions? Chrissy says, because we're all connected, us weird ones. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Thank you for liking the live, Sam. Tyrell's truth. In my dream, not for saying that, I told him I'm just chilling on my phone. I was chilling on top of the White House on the CIA and came and got me. For real? Oh, in a dream. Oh, it happened in a dream? You don't know shit. You just live here. I'm picking up what you throw down. I see deja vu with spirit telling me I'm on the right path. Okay. Yeah, I never felt like I belong anywhere. I felt like that big time, especially in school. It got to the point I felt school was a joke, y'all. I hated being at school. Especially if I was in a class where, like, teachers didn't really care about being there. Like, they didn't have a passion for teaching. It was just like a paycheck to them. Those classes. Where they bring in the TV and just want you to watch some boring ass documentary on something that I could have stayed at home and watched the damn History Channel and took notes on that myself. You know what I mean? Or if it's something like the last teacher you had in the previous year, like, went above and beyond, and you get some shitty teacher after that, and it's like, you know more than the teacher does, and you kind of want to get up there, like, God, it used to make me cringe. I used to want to get there, like, look, go sit down, I'll do it. I'll do it real quick. I don't know if that makes sense. Knowing that the kid next to you struggles, and the teacher ain't teaching in a way where nobody's getting it, but you had the good teacher last year, so you know the answer, you know? It's like, God, I wish I could just go up there and tell this lady, just sit down. Sit down, go home, something. You don't need to be up there. Y'all ever feel that way? Anyway, school felt wrong. Jobs felt draining. Small talk felt pointless. Oh, yeah, that one's a big one. You ever felt like how cringe it is to just chew the fat with somebody? That's always been a big one for me personally. What did you say the other word weird was, Desiree? The ancient meaning of weird was like seer or channeler. It was looked at as something sacred. Like, you ever seen the 300? And they gotta go all the way to the top of that thing where the temple is. And there's like 3 feminines or something. Okay, so that would represent like high priestess or oracles. Okay, so those would be weird ones. All right, and then they had the funky looking guy with the really funky looking, creepy looking face. Okay, he was a seer, but he was held at like there was hierarchy there. He was high ranking in like a community setting, if that makes sense. Like he had some sort of rank to him because he was a seer, a channeler. Like he had a knowing. Like those ancient cultures, they had a very specific purpose to their communities. Hold on, I just got a message. Carolyn, are you still in here? You're reading. Okay, so my YouTube's been uploading really slow. So it's still uploading on the computer as we speak. So if y'all are looking for your personal readings, they're still uploading. I'm going to post and I'm going to message y'all to let y'all know. I'll message y'all the link when it gets done. But yeah, so those of you that were asking it, how do you spell it? I'm Googling it. S-E-E-R. Seer. Like see with your eyes, see? And then add an R at the end. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Truraha for real? I can't say your name. It keeps DCing me, but I'm trying to stay. You've been wanting to get in touch for a while? With me or the aliens? Wait. Back up. I'm lost somewhere. Hi, Piper. How you doing? School felt like prison. Yes. But just like in the Matrix, I was free in my mind. School felt like a prison for me, too. I always, y'all, that was something I got really, I wouldn't say in trouble, but I got fussed at. Or notes sent home about daydreaming. I was always, like, escaping somewhere else. Constantly. I told them I'm just chilling on my phone. Oh, we weren't allowed to have, I thought you were talking about school. We weren't allowed to have phones in school. That was Estaraha, the Kenya. I'm not sure what spiritual belief that is. I'm not familiar with that one. Hi, Salty Siren. How you doing? Okay. So school felt wrong. Jobs felt draining. Small talk felt pointless. So just chewing the fat with somebody. The 3D matrix rules don't make sense to you. Yeah, there's a lot of rules in this 3D matrix in our society that don't make any sense. Like paying taxes, the fees that we have to pay to purchase a vehicle. Then you got to pay for the fee for the roads. Then you got to pay the fee to drive on the roads. You got to pay to put gas in the thing to drive it on the roads. Then you got to pay taxes on that. That don't make any sense to me. That's one of them rules. I'm like, wait, what? Or like, water's supposed to be a free source. Vegetables grown out of the ground supposed to be a free source. Like, some of this stuff just don't make sense to me. I'm like, wait. Gotta go to the grocery store to buy some GMO tomatoes? Y'all make it real hard to grow them out in the yard. All this shit you be putting in the air with the airplanes. I better quit. Car inspections too. Yeah. No, I messaged you a while ago, but it's the evil eye negative energies making me. Oh, okay. Okay, you tried messaging me. If you're trying to message me on Instagram, I don't know what's going on with this platform. Probably because I've been talking about shit that I'm talking about. I got shadow banned. They don't promote my stuff no more. That's why I had to jump over to TikTok. They're a little bit more lenient. We'll talk about weird things. Apparently. Anyway. You're coded for a mission. You're not coded for conformity. Yeah. You ever have a hard time conforming? It's like you understand the rules. You understand why it's in your best interest to just comply with the bullshit. Like, you get it. You know. But the rule itself don't make no sense. It's kind of like, it makes you cringe, you know. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, it says 5. Deep empathy and sensitivity, but also warrior energy. A starseed is not timid. You feel deeply and fight fiercely. Oh, I definitely feel that one. So yeah, I talk about light warriors. You ever heard about those? I know there's lots about light workers out there. There's a lot about light workers. Empaths, healers, sensitive, highly sensitives, all those things. And not that light warriors aren't those things, but light warriors seem to, they have to like combat spiritual warfare. It's like those are the people who know how to do that at a, like a higher level. Or not even that they like learned it. It's just something like, it's like a purpose. It's almost like a life purpose that they came here to do. I don't know. As a Leo, I hate confinement and rules. Yeah, y'all. I don't like all them rules. I'm like that too. But I also know it's in my best interest to just shut the fuck up and comply sometimes. Choose your battles wisely, you know. Character, it's kind of like being of this world. Being in this world, but not of this world. Does that make sense? Like, you know that you're in it, but you feel like maybe you're from like a different time or a different place. Yeah, it's always like you're searching for home. Always homesick. You ain't never belong nowhere. Like, not for real, for reals. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, it says deep empathy and sensitivity, but also warrior energy. So characteristics include empathic overload at times. Yeah, that's one that I learned the hard way. Absorbing energy in chaotic environments. Emotional intelligence beyond the norm. Protector instincts for loved ones. Yeah, do you ever feel like you were the protector of everybody? Like you're the one that always keeps, like, you got to take them under your wing. What if you dealt with the Watchers? Yeah, it's kind of like one of those energies. Like you're part of the Watchers. Like you're guardian over people. Like the underdog. You ever feel like you're supposed to protect the underdogs? I'm on the phone with your daughter. Are you really? Keep talking, keep talking. Y'all like this conversation? Christy says, no doubt. I've gotten fired from every job I've ever had for someone else's bullshit. I hate rules. That's unfortunate, but it's like that. Good evening, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Hey, I'm sending all that love and light back to you times 10. Thank you for following. I appreciate that, Chester. What's going on, y'all? Okay, so empathic overload at times. So all of us have an energetic body. Like, we already know this. This is all science stuff. You know, it's been proven on paper. Like electromagnetic fields, you know. Everybody's got one. Another way of calling it is an aura. And our aura can literally absorb energy. Sometimes you can absorb too much energy, and that can even just be other people's emotions, physical pain. Some people can absorb other people's physical pain. Most of the time, people that are into like energy healing and energy work, Reiki healers, you see a lot in like the Reiki community, like people will literally feel someone else's pain. Like physical pain, and it could be emotional. Their emotions, yeah, but and it makes you feel really burned out. I feel that way when I go out with my family sometimes. Like, not my kids. Like the older loved ones before me. My elders. Sometimes that can be really energetically draining for me. They stress me out. It's like I could pick up on all their stress and past shit that's been going on with them. And it's like, I can't compute all that shit all at one time. It's like I'm going through my own shit and then I'm picking up on all this other stuff. It's incredibly draining. I didn't know that's what it was 10 years ago. I didn't understand. But now I know, like, going out, like, I'm probably going to need a nap when I get back. I need to get away. I need to be by myself. I need a hermit for a little while. I need to recharge my batteries. It's too much. Almost like sensory overload, but in a different kind of way. Absorbing energy in chaotic environments. Yeah, that one. Yeah, like, have you ever walked into a room of like a lot of different people? Like, maybe you're going to like a conference or something, or, you know, you're going to see somebody speak, you know, and you're all excited about going, you know. Most of the time you pay money to see people speak, right? And you walk into the room and almost like it gets kind of quiet when you walk in, and like you can feel everybody else's energy, like the intensity of all those people being in one room. Even if you're the speaker, if there's something here about somebody needing to change, they need to share their voice. You're a mystic, you're a teacher. You have rare gifts, golden children, and you have helpers in the subtle realms, council of light. Anyway, have you ever been like speaking to a group of people, and then all of a sudden you can like just feel everybody in the audience like very intensely? This happened to me a couple times. Well, I'm sitting there talking. No, I don't miss the beat. I'm sitting there talking, but I feel like I'm about to black out. I can't see shit. I can't hear shit. It's like all that energy at one time. It's like incredibly intense. It's like I can almost absorb it. It's weird. I haven't learned how to channel that yet, though. That's why you avoid. Yeah, I don't like big crowds. I do not like big crowds either. Just like Black Friday sales, I never go out on Black Friday. That's like my hermit day. When they came out with Cyber Monday way back when, I thought that was just the most genius thing ever. I thought that was awesome. Like, I ain't even gotta leave. I just go click, click, boom. Somebody like Limp Bizkit. Oh yeah, they tried to recreate Woodstock in like, when was that? I don't know, but they had Limp Bizkit play. I watched the documentary on it. I think it's on Netflix. Maybe it's somewhere else. I'm pretty sure it's Netflix. But anyway, it's about like how they tried to recreate Woodstock, and it's like the 2000s time frame. But anyway, the way that he controlled the crowd was incredible. Like, they were just talking about like, that's like what was mind-blowing to some of the people that had him perform there was the way that he had control over he could have started a whole riot if he wanted. He could have fucked shit up in a whole nother level than he did. But that's because he could channel the energy of the audience that it was that he was, you know, performing for. Emotional intelligence beyond the norm. Yeah, have you ever felt like you just know when something wrong with somebody? Like everybody else is confused. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't feel like anything was wrong with that person. Hot and kind of black out a little bit. Yeah, Miss Phoenix. Chrissy Temple. I feel so intensely that I absolutely can't watch the news or see anything with people or animals in pain. Yeah, that's another one for me. I don't watch the news. And there's a lot of movies I can't watch anymore. I can't. I feel that way when I'm crystal shopping. I feel the energy. Yeah, that's another one. We'll talk about that in a minute. I've learned that David says that I've learned that I get others, you know, what they go through. Yeah, exactly like that. Mary Smith says it was like 97 or 98. Yeah, it was late 90s, early 2000. I think it was either 97. I think it was 97. Hi, Steven. How you doing, Steven? Troy says, I feel you. Thank you for the badges, y'all. I like that song. See, looking through that crazy. I'm a pro fighter, and when I walk into weigh-ins or to fight, it's like the room shifts. Yeah. You ever felt that before? Like you walk into a crowd and you can like literally feel the energy shift. And it says protect our instinct for loved ones. So this mix of sensitivity and spiritual combat energy is why starseeds are powerful healers and leaders. I can see that. I can see that. So yeah, feeling energy on crystals. We were kind of talking about that. I was talking about my necklace breaking. So crystals, you can program, if those of you that don't work with them, maybe you're newer to this kind of stuff, you can program crystals. And y'all, before I started working with crystals, I'm a really pretty logical person. You know, somebody was telling me about the essential oils and I had to do a whole deep dive. At the time, my husband got out of the military and I didn't have health insurance anymore. And I had chronic widespread pain. So I had to find holistic remedies of making myself feel better. So meditation was the first thing. I was like, okay, well, how does this shit work? And that's where I learned that like PTSD patients had a lot of success with healing with meditation. So we did a whole deep dive into that. Then it came into the essential oils. And I used to be a distributor for Young Living. I got that far into it. And the way that it can penetrate the blood-brain barrier in like less than 22 seconds. That was, so meditation and then essential oils. And then it got into crystals. And I was like, well, how the hell is a rock going to help me? How is this rock supposed to help me feel better? And then I learned that quartz is it's what gives clocks their tick. It's why we have a lot of the technology that we have today. It's all quartz crystals. Then you dive in deeper and you start learning about things like Stonehenge. And Stonehenge was a freaking computer database. Those stones had certain minerals and crystals and gems in them. And they created a certain type of frequency. And some of them were even transported from like places of Africa, Egypt, all over the place. They transported these massive stones. So they knew what they were doing, putting this one here and that one there and this one at this height and that one at that height. Like all of it was perfectly placed and it was like a database. It was crazy. We start like learning about like the whys behind all of it. I don't know if you ever heard of those teenagers that went and camped out in the middle of Stonehenge and they ended up disappearing overnight. That's kind of weird. That's kind of like some of that Bermuda Triangle stuff, 111 on the clock. Okay, number 6. You attract energy vampires. Karmic partners are narcissists. Are you serious? You love your rocks? I love my rocks too. I got a lot of crystals. It's like rondonite. Rondonite will literally heal bruises. If you take a little rondonite crystal on a bruise, I just took like an ace bandage and kind of lightly, I didn't like put it on super tight, you know. I didn't want to like cut off circulation, or I didn't want like the crystal to poke me too hard. But if you take an ace bandage and take like one of the oval ones, like a smooth one that's been polished, and you like lightly wrap it so the ace bandage will just hold it in place over your bruise. You don't want it to press it on too hard, right? You don't want it to be uncomfortable, but it'll heal the bruise. You'll see like a little spot where the rondonite crystal was, like the imprint of it, where your bruise healed around it. Pretty cool. You'll see, I think it's red jasper and hematite are supposed to help with like blood circulation. It can help with like hair growth. So if you like get one of those like derma rollers, if you can get like a red jasper or hematite, that's supposed to help with those blood circulation. By the way, I'm not a doctor and I don't give any medical advice. I don't know shit. I just live here, y'all. Do your own research. Let me throw that out there. Somebody's gonna go in their doctor's office and say, I don't need to take this medicine no more. It's Lady Leo said. No, that's not what I said. No, that's not what I said, okay? Alright, it says number 6, you attract energy, vampires, karmic partners, or narcissists. So starseeds come here to break generational cycles. I feel that way. I ever feel like y'all constantly breaking generational curses? That means you attract karmic dynamics. Yeah. You expose people's shadows. We'll talk about that one in a minute. I got a story for that one. Y'all gotta share your stories too. Y'all gonna make me sit up here and me be the only one story share? Don't shake to my yard, Miss Phoenix! I'm gonna go back on the comments in just a second. You expose people's shadows. Your light irritates unhealed souls. That's a big one. You feel like that? You feel like your light irritates other people's demons? People become obsessed or intimidated. Y'all, some of the most strangest connections become intimidated or obsessed. It's like, what is up with that? It's like one of them blessing, cursing things. It's a blessing and a curse in itself. Your relationships are not random. They are soul contract activations. Exposing people's shadows, y'all. I'm always put in these situations where I get in the group and I end up sniffing out some sort of shiesty ass bullshit. And it makes me not fit in even more. Does that make sense? That ever happened to you? It's like you can sniff out the bullshitter in the group, and it's the most liked person in the group. So then you're not accepted no more because you're pointing shit out and you're not even meaning to. You ever feel like that? Oh, I don't know how many times it's happened to me. I gotta tread lightly here for legal reasons. But I might perhaps have been on the PTO, like the vice president of the PTO. And I found out there was some shiesty shit going on before I was in that position with the money. There's something not right going on. And I had to go sniffing. I just had to go look under the rock. And y'all, was my heart broken. I'd end up pulling my kids out of the public school system over this shit. It was that bad. And it went way deeper than that. I went to the city and asked Human Resources. I started talking about what it was that I was suspected, because I didn't have any physical proof. I don't know shit, I just live here. And they might have told me to back off. I was barking up the wrong tree. I thought that was incredibly interesting that she would say that to me. Or he. Whoever it may perhaps have been. If they really said it or not. Anyway. It broke my heart. Always made the villain. It's me that is doing... Yeah. Nobody liked me after that. Oh well. I went there to be liked anyway. I was there because my kids were being bullied. You work your way up to be the VP on the PTO and they don't bully your kids no more. Because my kids are weird, like me. They don't fit in either. Go figure. People become obsessed or intimidated. Yeah, then you got these... Y'all know I'll pull the card with the crazy... It says the crazy on it. It's the chick with the crazy eyes. I'm not talking about weird people. I'm talking about a whole nother level cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Whole nother type of breed of somebody. Being obsessed because they're intimidated by you. Have you ever felt that? My sons are weird like me too. Thank you, David. I appreciate that, sweetheart. Maybe we're the ones that can do everything. That's what's so intimidating. It's like a jack of all trades and a master of some. You know what I mean? Like, you might not be the best at it, but every single thing that you do, once you get the gist of it, you're pretty good at it. You know? You can do a little bit of everything. That's a superpower, especially if you're neurodivergent. Shit, if you're interested in the topic, you can write a whole freaking book on it in 3 weeks. You do a deep dive hyper focus, then you can be a superpower. You ever felt that way? That's what happens to me. I never finish the course. I never get all the knowledge on it, but shit, I can talk about it. I can hold a damn conversation about the shit. And then I'll go a while. I'll get hyper-focused in a bunch of different subjects, and then I'll come back around to the one that I was hyper-focused in, and I'll learn a little bit more. Like, okay, quick recap. That's like a couple hours. You're like, oh, yeah, I remember that shit. And it starts coming to the forefront of the brain, and then you, like, expand on it for another 3 weeks. You go through a couple of them cycles, and eventually you become a master of some. That's for the more mature peoples. Because the saying's a master of none. But over a lifetime, you have a couple of them sessions or phases where you hyper-focus on a topic from time to time. Eventually, you're going to be a master of it. Yeah, we remind each other. Yeah, we're here to wake each other up. The remembering. Some people some people are having awakenings and other people are having rememberings. Like Mufasa in the sky. Remember who you are. Number 7, you carry the outsider timeline. You never felt like who you were, like you were ever from here. You feel like that, Josh? Shit, I feel like that all the time. Getting hyper-focused. Always made the villain. All right, all the females in my family are sensitive to energy. Really? I've got not just the females. There's some males in my family that are really sensitive to energy. They've got like their own type of psychic abilities. But it's like everybody's like Bruno. We're not supposed to talk about that shit. They don't like it when I start asking questions. They do not like that. I don't know why we're not supposed to talk about it. We're just supposed to pretend like it don't exist. Well, I know it's happening. I gotta have a conversation about it. Especially if I know that you know. If I know that you know that I know, we all know the same thing, why can't we talk about it? I want to have a conversation. I want to share fucking notes, okay? You know? Like, there's one person in my family. She has a dream 3 days before somebody passes away. She'll have a dream about it, and then it happens. You need to speak up. Like, if it's a pattern and it's accurate, you need to say something. See something, say something. Why are you not telling people that you saw them in your dream 3 days ago? I want to know. That's what I said. You see me, please tell me. It give me 3 days to prepare. At least give me 3 days to freaking prepare for it. The best that I can. I've got shit to leave behind. I got notes. I got instructions. Shit. I need to know these things. If you know, I need to know. All right, so number 7, you carry the outsider timeline. You never felt like you were from here. Signs include staring at the stars as a child. Yeah, we talked about that one already. Yeah, instructions. I got shit to leave behind. So I tell y'all. I'll go ahead and tell you right now. You better not come to my house uninvited. I know my rights. And whatever the fuck comes of you, I'm well within my rights. I'm waking up tomorrow. I got 4 kids. Somebody's got to make their cinnamon toast. Who's going to make their cinnamon toast in the morning if I'm not here? They don't do it right. They don't know how to do it. Not the way my babies like it. No. I have instructions to leave behind. If I'm going. They make their little sandwiches. All of them, they like their sandwiches made different. You need to know these things, okay? I got shit to pass along. And when this one has an anxiety attack, I have instructions. I need to walk you through how you get her to come down from her anxiety attack. There's steps to this shit, okay? Yeah, I gotta leave instructions. Okay, so you never felt like you were from here. Signs include staring at the stars as a child. Feeling homesick for a place that isn't Earth. Have you ever felt like that? 1, 2, 3 on the clock. It's all coming together like 1, 2, 3. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4 earlier. Who was that? Was that Chrissy saying 1, 2, 3, 4? We aren't ass kissers and don't conform. Yeah, it is hard to conform. Kind of like the Kardashians. Everybody's gonna go buy and do whatever the Kardashians are doing. Now, Mama is actually pretty smart. Jenner. She's actually really smart. The ones under that, they made their money how they made their money, and then they invested it in the right people. Listening to their mama. Their mama told them who to invest into. Then they steal shit from everybody else and slap their name on it. Like, didn't they have cookies one time? I think they had a whole line of cookies or something. I heard they tasted like shit. I don't know. I don't buy none of that. Okay. Feeling homesick for a place that is somewhere else. That isn't Earth. Feeling like your real family is somewhere else. I felt that. You ever been around your group of family and you're like, how the hell am I related to these people? I feel like that. You get around the big group of people. Yeah, y'all. I went to this family reunion back in 2002. Down in southern Texas. There's a lot of people I'm related to in southern Texas. I'm glad I don't live there. I'm glad I didn't date there. I would have had to get background checks on people. They're like bunny rabbits down there. Everybody's connected. Everybody's related. Like, shit. In the smaller towns, I'm not talking about like Dallas or Houston. I'm talking about, you know, south and like the smaller towns. You're in North Texas. It's just like the whole damn town is unrelated to the whole damn city. Shit, we had a family reunion, y'all. It was embarrassing. I cannot make it up. There was literally an argument that busted out of the kitchen over the last tortilla. I was like, what the hell? It was trippy. I'd never experienced like that, anything like that in my entire life. Both my parents moved away from their families. So they didn't have all that outside drama and all that. We always kept to ourselves. It was just us under the same roof. That's all we had. So we'd have to travel a long way to go ever go see any family. And then I'd meet her and I'd be like, how the hell am I related to you? Like, we look the same. You can see it, like the features and stuff like that. But as far as like who they are as people, it's a little bit like, I ain't connecting. This don't resonate with me. We're not related, so we good. David! said we're definitely not related. Hi, Esoteric Designs. Mom's born in Houston. We might be related. Could be. I don't know. I got one of them rare blood types. I said we weren't going to get into blood types on this stream. I think I'm going to save that for an extent or for exclusive. I probably don't need to be doing that on a live. Shit, I'm already shadow banned from Instagram. I already quit while I'm ahead. Feeling like your real family is somewhere else. Having a deep knowing you're here temporarily. That's a weird one. Like, that's true, though. You're hearing a banjo? It was, y'all. It was so trippy. So they had two different events. So the main event during the day, this is the family reunion. The main event during the day, it wasn't as big as the nighttime event. The main event the first event during the day, it was like an auction. So like everybody, you know, like makes their own shit, like DIY stuff, you know. So you had, you know, the elders, I call them the elders. They bring in all these quilts that they made and blankets, that, you know, crochet items. So see, my grandfather always brought the lanterns. He was a woodsman. He was a carpenter. He was really good at carpentry. He was good at a lot of things. But he'd bring these, like, really beautiful lanterns that he'd make. So, you know, everybody's auctioning off their stuff, and they'd use that to fund the next family reunion. So not as many people showed up to that. But then nighttime came, you go home, you go to your hotel, or that's what we did if you weren't from there. You go to your hotel, you change over and get ready for dinner, and you go back, and it was this massive dance. Live music. Everybody wanted to dance. I felt like I was in the Selena movie there for a minute. Everybody screaming, "Baile, baile!" What the hell's going on? I saw my dad dance. My dad danced with me for the first time. But y'all, he had some moves. I was impressed. Like, damn, Dad, you can dance. No wonder. That's how you got my mama. I see you. You got some moves on you. Alright, it says number 8. Woodsman? Like the woodsman? Yeah, you were getting it. Hi, co-creator. How you doing? Hi, Goo Goo. Seriously cool. Temporarily eternal. Chrissy says, I have generations of sensitives. My mother and my 2 daughters all have abilities. My kids have abilities. I know they do since really young. I know my son. He's going to be 14, y'all. 14. Where did the time go? He's a Sagittarius sun and a Pisces moon. And y'all, he's like an old soul. I remember we were at my in-laws. It's a long time. We're no contact now. One of the best decisions I ever made. Anyway, we were at my in-laws. And anytime we'd go visit over there, the adults would always end up outside. I used to be a smoker. So we were outside. I'd probably smoke a pack of cigarettes anytime I'd go over there to visit. And this is just a night. Usually we didn't stay the night over there. We'd sit out there and we'd drink and we'd smoke cigarettes all night. The kids would be inside. And they got them tablets. So when they came over to their house, tread lightly here, they get their tablets, and now I understand that they were given the tablets because it was supposed to be special so that we go outside and do the adult shit. So anyway, I remember my son being 7 years old, and I came inside, and he said, Mom, how is this family time if all the adults are outside drinking and smoking and we're sitting here on tablets? And I was like, damn, son. You got a really good point there. I actually shared a part of the story. I think it was my last stream, maybe 2 streams ago. But it clicked. It made a lot of sense to me. I was like, you schooling me a little bit. It made me look at myself in a different way. I didn't ever do that ever again. I never sat out there and smoked and drank like that ever again after he said that. My daughters have said some shit to me too, but he's more like the old soul. I know he's been here a time or two. Shit, his soul may be older than mine. I learn shit from him all the time. Let's see. My oldest daughter, y'all, she just knows shit. I don't know how she knows some of the shit she knows. She freaks herself out sometimes. She'll say something. She thinks she's kidding. She thinks she's just joking around and just comes to her. She just says it. And then a couple days later, it happens. She freaks me out. It freaks her out. She's like, Mom, I didn't mean to, like, make that happen. I was like, it's because you've got abilities, baby. You just knew. You don't know how you know. It's just one of them things. We talked about that earlier. And then my daughter, my youngest daughter, I think she can see people who have passed over. I think she talks to people who have passed over. She said some things. There's no possible way. We've never brought these people up in front of her before. We've never talked about them. She's like said things like phrases that they used to say, or like she called my dad a nickname. I didn't even know he was called this nickname. I didn't even know that about him. That was trippy. So all of them, all three of them. My fourth child, I don't know yet. He's only 10 months. I'm sure he will. But all three of them have like spiritual gifts. You know, they're like old souls. They've been here before. So I don't know if y'all have experienced that, or if y'all have experienced that through your children. It's crazy. And then I used to have premonition, or I have premonitions, but I used to have dreams when I was little, and I used to like tell my parents stuff, and it'd freak them out to the point where I wasn't allowed to talk about it anymore. We didn't talk about those things. That scared them. So then I imagine like I can remember being that young and wanting to go tell my parents something that I experienced because I'm scared. It scared me, and not being able to talk about it. I just have to eat it. I can remember that being difficult. Or made to feel like you're crazy and you didn't experience it at all. Like that, they get scared, you know, that there's just what it is that they know. They're dealing it with the best that they can. Not knowing the emotional, psychological damage that they're doing in the moment. But for me, in my experience, you know, that was like, you're being gaslit, basically. Yeah, I really did have that experience, and it really made me feel a certain way, and I wasn't allowed to express that. Have y'all ever felt that? Did that ever happen to y'all? Okay, so number 8, you awaken through pain, betrayal, or crisis. Starseeds go through intense spiritual initiation cycles. Common patterns, betrayal. Yeah, that's a big one. Have y'all dealt with betrayal on like really complex levels? We talked about that at the beginning of this live stream. By the way, I'm not a doctor. I don't know shit. I just live here. Do your own research, okay? Can't give medical, mental, legal advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Betrayal, abandonment. I feel like that's a big one. Relationship upheavals. Oh, yeah. Y'all been in some of the most intense, toxic-ass relationships? It's heaven on earth when it's good, and it's hell on earth when it's bad. All of it happening right here all at the same time. I think some of us resonate with that one. Relationship upheavals. Sudden endings. Yeah, absolutely. Betrayal is a big one. Adam says that's amazing. Millie's Magic Medicine. How you doing, love? Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, yeah. Trying to save everyone. Yeah, that's a big, big one. Sunny says, yup. Mary Helen, welcome back, Mary Helen. Thank you for being here. I just work here. Yeah, I just live here. I don't know. My son, of course not. He replied, then what do you do? Then why do you make me? Yeah, that's something my son will ask. Really deep questions. Like, what's the meaning of life? Like, he was asking me that at 4. 4. And he was tongue-tied. So not everybody could always understand him when he talked. I talked for him a lot, I can remember. But he asked me that at 4. What's the meaning of life? I'm like, what? I felt like I'm not prepared for this. I'm not prepared. Nobody told me that kids were going to be asking these questions this early. I didn't have the answer for him. I was like, we all still trying to figure out that one, boo-boo. I don't know, Bubba Man. I don't know that one. We all still trying to figure that one out. 4. He asks me a lot of really tough questions now, too. But like I said, I learn a lot from my kids. They teach me a lot. Especially about shedding my own ego. Alright, it says, betrayal, abandonment, relationship upheaval, sudden endings, tower moments. That's a big one. My mom said I was profound at 4 years. I'm like that, too. Yeah, you ask a lot of really deep-ass questions. Your parents are like... Yeah, back then, though, you gotta think. I'm a 90s baby. Even then, we didn't have the same type of information, especially like a wide range about like psychology and all those, like how parenting can fuck up your kid, the way that you choose to parent. Shit like corporal punishment. You're a 90s kid. I'm right at the beginning stage. I was born in 90. But yeah, my parents were grown up. I remember they parented like how they were parented, and they were parented. Children are meant to be seen, not heard. I'll give you a reason to cry. You get your feelings hurt, you're not supposed to cry about that shit. You're not supposed to express your emotions. You're not even supposed to have emotions. Nonetheless, get too loud at the living room. Shit, Barbie and Ken, we had to keep that on the DL. We had to be quiet. We had to whisper. Barbie and Ken in there whispering to each other. Except I wasn't playing Barbie and Ken. I grew up on Days of Our Lives during nap time. I can remember we had to go get their mat. My mom watched us. She had like a little like daycare. But 1 o'clock, Days of Our Lives came on. That was right after lunch. Lunch was at 11:30. Midday Mississippi came on at 12 noon. And 1 o'clock, Days of Our Lives came on. And I know everybody's supposed to be going to get their mats by 12:45. Supposed to get ready to settle down. Because at 1 o'clock, we were watching Days of Our Lives. Everybody was supposed to be asleep. Except for me, I had one eye open the whole time. Had to watch Marlena, John, Sammy, Lucas, Stefano. So that's where my Barbies played. I always played. And then there was that funky ass episode where like the Roswell twins ended up coming into the storyline. That was trippy. Anyway, back to Starseeds. Everything at once periods. Stefano! You know what I'm talking about? G.I. Joe. Yeah, then there was like Marlena. She got trapped in that room with the cushion. She was in there for like, what, months? When Marlena was processed. My mom always said I was an indigo baby. That's cool that your mom knew what an indigo baby was. My mom didn't know shit about that kind of stuff. I'm gonna tread lightly there. I was gonna say something, but I'll wait. I don't think I can talk about that publicly. Have to figure out the hard way that I can't fix everyone, especially in the relationships in my life, has been tower card for 5 years now. Yeah, oh yeah. Ever since the sickness happened, shit's been extra weird. Not that it wasn't weird, trippy stuff before, but ever since the sickness happened, it like jumped up 10 levels. Shit's extra weird. All my children, One Life to Live, and General Hospital, really? She never got into those. I was a little bit older. I think, what was it that came on after Days of Our Lives? Passions. I really liked that show. I remember being excited during the summer. I was home from school. Hi, Maria. How you doing, love? Everything I believe in, my mom doesn't believe in or doesn't think is true. It makes me sad sometimes. That's really sad, Desiree. I bet it's really hard to connect. But yeah, I got written off a lot, too. You remember that? Esoteric Designs, Passions. The Lopez Fitzgeralds. Hey! Oh, that is so pretty. Thank you. Tell the love light back to you times 10. Lil Salvi, I appreciate the bouquet. Thanks for liking the live. Y'all, thanks for the badges. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the ways that y'all show support. Yeah, but I got into that one too. Yo, we get so off topic. Okay, so the everything at once periods. I kind of feel like that's kind of like back in 2020. I think a lot of us were experiencing things like that. Like the everything all at once. There's a lot of different stuff happening all at once then. Major awakenings, like forcing everybody to be at home in hermit mode. The way, like, there was literally people were losing their minds. And then some people went into hermit mode and never came out. That was me. I feel like 2020, I went into hermit mode and I never came back out into the public fully. I don't know if that makes sense. We were glued to TV for that one guy, the younger brother with, yeah. He kind of looked like, what is his name? I can't remember the actor's name. Wheat and the Tars. Full House. Both of my parents had guests and we hardly ever talked about it. Dang. See, my mom, I know my mom is like a master manifester. Like when she really wants something and she focuses on it, it fucking happens. I wish that she had more confidence in it. Because like, I'm sitting here thinking, damn, the shit that you could have manifested. But she is. She gets something in her mind and she gets that determined on it and it happens. Like, God, if you only knew the superpower that you have. 143 on the clock. Somebody says, I love you. Somebody wants you to know they love you. Hi, Storm. How you doing, Storm? This is a shift. You've been feeling this? Yeah. And that's the thing, too. I feel like shifts happen faster. It's all happening at once, almost. Like we're experiencing slower than it really happens. But then again, we only experience time the way that we do on Earth. Time's not like that everywhere else. Only how we're experiencing it here. I feel like time is speeding up for reals. I feel that one. It does. It's kind of like, where did the time go? Like, y'all, it's almost 2026. It feels like 2 days ago it was 2025. Isn't that crazy? All right, what else does it say? These are your mission codes and psychic gifts. All right, so number 9. You experience synchronicities constantly. Yeah, the numbers. 1111, 222, 333, all the numbers, all the things. 144 on the clock, by the way. Dream symbols. Reoccurring signs. Telepathic nudges. The deja vu, we talked about that earlier. 911, I see 911 a lot. I was seeing 911 before 9/11 happened. All the time I was seeing it. Isn't that weird? I haven't seen it a whole lot recently. I'll see it from time to time, but it's not at the level that I've seen it in phases, in certain other phases. Right now I'm seeing a lot of 123. I see a lot of 1111. I'm seeing a lot of 555. Hi, Richie Rich. Welcome. David says, Scripture says something about cutting time down to save the 144,000. Yeah, but that's just a symbolic number. There's actually more than 144,000. That's just like the original. Now think about like everybody that's been incarnated from the original 144. That's a lot of people. So yeah, it's a lot more than 144. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 3, 3. Yeah, somebody else over here. Is it Chrissy? Chrissy, you're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. Somebody else is seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 a lot. 33. Lots of zeros. Hi, Nat. Welcome, Nat. Thank you for being here. 777, 888. It's everywhere. It is. I'm seeing it like on notifications on my phone. Like, you know, like it'll show you like the little number on the app. Before you open the app up, it'll show you like how many notifications you have in that app. I see them in there all the time. When I'm watching somebody else play a game, like on a PlayStation or a computer, I see numbers going off on the screen all the time. Like just like the repetitive numbers. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 is go. It's like green light, go. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, Ozuzu. How you doing? My name's Crystal, named after Chrissy. Oh. Yeah, y'all seen a lot of 888. I've been seeing those numbers on other people's readings today and yesterday. Really? Hi, Annette. Welcome, Annette. All right, so it says, so experiencing the synchronicities. I can't say shit right, y'all. I'm from Mississippi. It takes me a couple times. You experience synchronicities constantly. These are your guides and higher self communicating nonstop. All right, 10. You carry divine feminine and divine masculine balance codes. Even if your upbringing was chaotic, you have an inner blueprint of strength, protection, intuition, compassion. Maybe you do have a really strong inner compass. Compassion, cosmic wisdom, leadership. By the way, I didn't say compass on there. I said it wrong. It's compassion. Leadership. Most starseeds are energetic activators for others. I feel that too. Wait, didn't you say that? Who said that? Was it Sunny? Or was it David? Somebody says that we're here to wake other people up. We're here to like activate other people. 11. You feel drawn to specific star systems. Y'all, let me tell you. I was in the bookstore. What is this, 2 weeks ago? I was in the bookstore 2 weeks ago. I was just pilfering around, just trying to look at, trying to expand the brain on something. And usually I'm in the tarot self-development, naturally. I'm looking at what decks do they have available on hand, what type of new books are out. Did they have the one that I've been hoping that they would have, So anyway, I go over to the section where it's like philosophy. And then behind there, like the philosophy section is right on the wall. And behind that, there's like, the aisle. And then there's other aisles that go like T's. So I'm going down those aisles and it's like astronomy. So I pick up one of these books and I'm just flipping through the page, just kind of see if I like it. Would it be worth buying or not? And it's talking about the Sagittarius star system and the galaxy that it belongs to. And I'm like, wait a second. I thought the Sagittarian star system was in the Milky Way galaxy. And then I'm like, oh, wait a second. There's multiple galaxies in the Milky Way galaxy. There's like bigger galaxies or smaller galaxies. I was like, star clusters and things like that. And I don't know. I started thinking about the WOW symbol that was sent from the Sagittarius star collection. I don't know. I just had like this big mind-blown moment where it was like all connected the dots. I'm like, well, every constellation is a part of a different galaxy. Shit. That's crazy. But yeah, it says feel drawn to specific star systems like Pleiadian gentle healer, Arcturian is a psychic warrior, Syrian old soul priest or priestess, Lyran regal leader, feline energy, Andromedan, freedom seeker, hybrid is a mix of missions. So that's something too. I don't know. Y'all, a lot of different people have their own theories and they teach different things, Y'all know me. I'm a little bit more eccentric. And what it is that I'm all over the place. I like to learn about it all. I believe in hybrid star seeds, where you're a mix of more than just one. But I know like the most common when you hear people who want to be a part of like Pleiadian star seeds or star systems, which is actually Taurus, if y'all didn't know. But I feel like, why couldn't there be hybrids? They're hybrid people, And really I think the States have the most hybrid peoples of this area. Maybe Canada too. Canada, United States would probably be a lot of different hybrid peoples. If you go to other countries, it's mostly people that have been there their whole lives. Their families were there. Their origins are there. They never migrated out of that, We've got a lot of very diverse group of people here. And it's becoming even more diverse. This pull is your soul memory waking up. Lyran is also part of the Vega star system. I can't remember some of the other ones off the top of my head. My brain's kind of doing a lot of different stuff all at one time. 12. You've always been spiritually gifted even before you realized it. So whether it's tarot, mediumship, channeling, energy healing, or dream walking, your gifts weren't learned, they were remembered. Yeah, we just talked about that. You definitely feel like a hybrid. I feel like I'm a hybrid. I feel like I got more missions than one. I see signs and symbols everywhere. We inspire others without even trying. I feel that too. I feel that too. Diverse but the same. We're all intermingled. I agree with that. I feel that. Hi, Breeze. Hi-oh. How are you doing? We were in Sagittarius arm before the Mandela effect. Now we're in Orion arm. That's interesting. Very interesting. I've never heard anybody say that before. Maybe your compass pointing in the right direction. Maybe so. That's you, number 10. Saturn. Yeah, it says your gifts weren't learned. They were remembered. You're not developing abilities. You're activating what you already came with. Wow. I feel like that's one big thing that people don't realize is that all of us have psychic abilities. You know, all of us have natural instinct. All of us have intuition. We're born with those things. So when you want to talk about like psychics and spiritual gifts, like everybody's born with them. I feel like we lose them or we forget. Maybe some of us blocked them out because we didn't have anywhere to express what it was that we were, you know, experiencing. And then later in life, you know, you learn how to expand on it. All right, 13. You know you're here for a mission. You feel a pull to help humanity. I had to unplug from that sometimes, y'all. I do. Sometimes I feel like somebody's got to help humanity. We're killing each other out there. Excuse me. We're unaliving each other out there. And then I have to detach from that a lot of times because that can be very daunting. Especially you're having a really shitty day. Like, how the hell am I supposed to help the planet and I can't even fucking help myself? You know what I mean? You feel a pull to help humanity, a sense of destiny. Yeah, I felt that before. Like something was just destined to be. I think it's forgotten because of taboo. I think so too, Pamela. I think so too. Genuine. Other people suppress them. Yeah, I think so too. They take it away. What are you reading? It's verbatim what I tell people. Oh, I just searched it. Desiree wants to be the next female president. Boo-boo, go for it. Maybe not, y'all. They try to unalive everybody that gets up there. They'd be trying to unalive them peoples. No matter what side it's from. Fluoride in the water? Yeah. That's another thing. We weren't going to get into that. I feel like the whole thing's a sham, y'all. The whole thing's a fucking sham. It's all just for show. There's like, what, 13 trillionaires? They ain't going broke no time soon. They know they can't con the other one. All of them know the same shit. The shit that we don't have access to. You know? And that's so that they stay up there as the elite. We're not supposed to know them things. We're peasants. That's why this awakening is going on. That's what somebody was saying. Who was saying that? They were talking about how things like what AI is now, that one person owns the software or the system. They even have like an off switch to like shut the whole thing off if they need to. And even when they do that, they hit the switch to cut it off, they still have access to all the data that it collected. So that they can continue to use the data, but nobody else has access to it. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if I want to be the 1%. I don't know. Think about what it took for those people to get there. What type of people they had to be. What are you going to do with $1 trillion? I mean, I can think of a lot of really amazing things that you could do with it, but I don't feel like it's being used for those things. I feel like we've been turned into experiments. Kind of like the OA. You ever seen that show, the OA? They're treated like guinea. They put those. All of them get like kidnapped, if you will. So they get taken. They don't know where the hell they're at. They're in some basement in some random spot, and they're put in plexiglass. But the plexiglass is all connected, so everybody's in a little compartment of plexiglass. And somehow there's a river that runs through, like a little stream, that runs through all the little compartments, but they're connected. And that's where they have to wash their face. They get their drinking water, so you gotta be careful because that's also the bathroom. And then this dude literally sends these pellets down this little tube, like at the bank, like, you know, the little tubes at the bank. He sends these pellets down this tube, and that's what they eat. So they eat off pellets. They're not allowed to actually have direct contact with each other. They can only like kind of talk to each other through the plexiglass. It's weird. But they're treated like a bunch of guinea pigs. And he's studying them. All of them, I think, had like near-death experiences. What all the people that were taken, all of them, but they could. It's like they woke up with different abilities, though. But anyway, this one girl had a near-death experience, and she went blind, and she couldn't see. And then she had another near-death experience, and then she could see again. So I don't know. It's like, it's a weird show. It's a good one, though. It's like one of those trippy plot twist type of shows. It's called the OA. If y'all want to go check that out. I feel like that's what we're being seen as. They treat us like guinea pigs. Kind of like with the sickness thing. Like, let's see what happens if we enter this into the Matrix. How are the people's going to react to this one? And then I remember having this deep conversation with my mother about politics. And she was saying that when she was growing up in the 50s, that they were always constantly talking about watch out for propaganda from other countries. Watch out from propaganda from other countries. Everything was propaganda from another country. And that's exactly what they were doing to the people here. They were using propaganda on the people about propaganda in other countries. It's like, go figure. What the hell? Doesn't make no sense. Okay, 15. You awaken others without trying. Oh, wait, no. I missed one. A desired... Okay. 13. I'm skipping all around, y'all. Oh, that was removed. Hi, Sherry. How you doing? The rest of us are just trying to survive in their world. Yeah, for real. You have a good night, Lady Leo. I have to try and get some sleep. I have a big day tomorrow. Yeah, Pamela. Thank you so much for being here, sweetheart. They run the world and they are awful people. I think so, too, y'all. All that money that they have, they could combine it and they could find cures for all different types of stuff. But why would you find the cure for shit that you created? Sickness was to sift out the wheat and the tares. Hi, Joseph. Welcome. Hi, Divinely Balanced. Welcome, sweetheart. Ruma says, what's up? What's up? How you doing? What's really going on? We're in the Twilight Zone. We in some type of zone. Hi, Nirvana. Welcome. Okay. So I said a pull to help humanity, a sense of destiny. A desire to guide, heal, or awaken. Yeah, I feel that too. A lot of us talk about that. We feel responsible for other people, for helping them through their shit. Even though we ain't completely through our shit, I'm going around trying to help people. We spiritually oozing, bleeding out. We even got our own shit together, and we over here trying to help Polly, Sally, and Mo. A calling to elevate collective consciousness. Starseeds incarnate with purpose. Even if life gets chaotic, the mission always finds you again. 14. People project onto you easily. I feel that one. We're deeper than we thought. I feel that too. Hi, chosen one. I feel, yeah, we're way deeper than we thought. People project onto you easily. Because your aura is strong, people will obsess over you. Yeah, we talked about that one already. Imitate you. Yeah, have y'all ever felt that? Like some of y'all talk so much shit about you. They will just say the nastiest things. And the next thing you know, they're trying to be you, literally. Wearing what you're wearing. Talking like how you talk. Going out to eat where you said was good. Like they doing everything that it is that you're doing, but they talking mad shit. They imitate you. They judge you. Yeah, that's the other one. Like they're so judgy. Judgy, judgy, judgy. And then they go turn around and do the same damn thing. Like you inspired their ass, and they gonna sit there and talk shit about you. That don't make no sense. People become deeply attached. Yeah, we talked about the people with crazy eyes. Listen to the people with the crazy eyes, and all of a sudden they want to drink your bath water, boo-boo. You ever met people like that? It's like, what the hell? Let me go back into hermit mode. Shit. Reveal their shadow around you. Yeah. Have you ever been around people and like, oh, like only you got to see their darkness, but they don't show that to everybody else? So you go around and you're like looking at everybody like, why do you like this person? Because they didn't show their shadow to those people over there. Only you got to see the shadow version. They're still wearing a mask to everybody else. They only showed you all the aspects. Your energy acts like a spiritual mirror. I can see that. Kind of like Heyoka energy in a way. I don't know if y'all know what that is. I know most of us know what that is. Alright, 15. You awaken others without trying. Just by existing, you inspire. Yeah, that's a big one. You inspire people and impact people more than you're ever given credit for. You know that? They'll never tell you to your face. They'll never admit it. But there's a lot of people who are end up more inspired by you than you ever even realize or get confirmation for. Trigger growth. I feel that one too. I bet you're around people a lot. They don't like the shit that's come out of your mouth. It irritates their soul. But they make changes. You'll see them change. Some people will really go do the healing work. Or they'll change their habits or a decision. And it's because you spoke up and said something, whether they liked it or not. They got to respect it. They'll never tell you. You'll never hear it. You'll never get credit or confirmation. But you did that. Disrupt generational patterns. Yeah, we talked on that one a lot already. Shine light on truth. Yeah, we talked on that one too. Like you're always finding... Like you're shining a light on shit that nobody else sees clear as day. It's like you can just walk up and point it out and everybody else is like dumbfounded. Or talk shit to your face. Yeah. I have a hard time to adjust. I see how I see it. Yeah. People don't like that. We got to dumb shit down. Or y'all. Everybody's such a poo nanny these days. And maybe it's just because I'm mixed and I'm already a minority. So like my first earliest experiences, I was getting picked on. have thick skin, right? Because my feelings weren't allowed to be hurt, right? I'll give you a reason to cry, right? We're not allowed to express our feelings. That person calls us a name, we're not supposed to be crying about it. Didn't hurt you. What you talk about, child? But I'll tell you what, it made me have thick skin. There's been a lot of people said awful things about me. I'm just like, I've guys gotten to the point like, okay, your opinion, literally, you know, if we want to get technical, your opinion ain't none of my business. You're entitled to your own opinion. That's fine. That's your storybook. That's not who I am in my storybook. I'm the main character in my storybook. And that's not how shit goes down. That's not we writing down in my pages. You can keep it. I ain't reading your book. That shit sucks. Get a little bit arrogant. Trigger growth. Activate gifts. I feel that too. Kind of like your intuition can almost enhance other people's intuition when you get around. You're laughing at me. I know you ain't. It's all good, Holmes. Kill it. I feel it. I feel it. I see what's really going on. I'm picking up what you throwing down. You don't like me. You want to make me Ursula in your book. Bitch, I'm Ariel. You want to make me Poison Ivy in your book. I'm Catwoman, okay? You want to make me Cersei Lannister in your book. I'm fucking Arya Stark in mine, alright? You can take that shit over there. I don't want to read it. I don't care what it says. I told you we were going to get sassy at some point. I try to keep it nice and cool. I try. That's your purpose. Aries in the 7th house. Damn. Yeah, I don't hate nobody. But if you're going to be talking shit, you're like, what? I don't want you over here. Go take those vibes over there. Take it to the sandbox. Go kick rocks. Go do something else with it. That's fine. I'll send you love and healing from afar. You just stay on your side of the river, baby. Stay over there. You're a frequency holder. All right, so if it says... That's 15. Kick rocks. Yeah, go kick rocks or something. Go play in the sandbox. Which is the litter box, by the way. That's what we call the litter box. We call it the sandbox. I gotta go clean out the sandbox. I don't know if y'all ever call the litter box a sandbox, but that's what I mean. It's kind of like being Southern. Y'all, I didn't find this out till I was 21 years old. I didn't realize that saying bless your heart was a condescending way. It was like a polite way of saying fuck you. I mean, some people very rarely mean it when they say bless your heart. But bless your heart, that means fuck you. That means you're pathetic. Fuck you. Yeah, it's very condescending. It's very backhanded. It's that Southern hospitality. It's kind of like getting the gift on your doorstep, right? And it's shit that they lit on fire. It's kind of like that. Yep, Mississippi. That's the one. I didn't realize that till I was 21. I'm going around telling everybody to bless their heart. I meant it. In the context that I was saying it, I just didn't realize I was saying fuck you in that way. At least in the snooty county that I'm from. That's what it meant there. A lot of other places it seemed to have been that too. After, you know, I put the dots together. It's like, oh. Wondering why they were being nice to me all of a sudden. They said, bless my heart. They were politely saying, fuck you. Fuck you, Leo. That's pathetic. How, intentions, yeah. They're all in hell now, yeah. I hope maybe they heal. It doesn't mean that from no, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that from everyone. But most of the people that I was around, they weren't very nice to me most of the time. So originally I thought saying bless your heart, they were just being nice. They were being nice to me. They were being condescending. Hey, I'm still on my back to you, Thompson. Thank you for being here. Oh well, I learned the hard way. Maybe it was a good thing. Maybe it was a good thing. Y'all, how did we get into these deep ass conversations? Oh, it was the year 1983. That's what it was. I saw it in my mind's eye, 1983. That's what we looked at. Why is that significant spiritually and with like things to do with aliens? Hey, thank you for the feather tiara. I appreciate you. I'm still on the living like back to you times 10. It says, damn. Thank y'all so much for all the love. So I'll like back to you, Thompson. See you next Tuesday. It's another good one. That's your birth year? Yeah, we got to talking about that. That's how it got started. Hi, Big Bad Stud. How you doing? It was high school. Y'all are going nights? All right, yeah, y'all get, yeah, it's 2:13 a.m. here, y'all. I'm seeing lots of 2s and 3, combinations of 2s and 3s on the clock. 213 was 213, 23.2K, 3, 2. Maybe that's significant for somebody. 2s and 3s makes 5s. That's big life changes. That shifts in the energy. That's what a lot of us were talking about tonight, this morning, whatever. All right, y'all. I think this is where we're going to end it. This was supposed to be channeled messages. It was supposed to be like midnight oracle type of messages. Oh, you're working the graveyard shift? I was going to say, bless your heart. I don't mean it. I'm not saying F you, I promise. I was about to say, bless your heart. And I was like, wait a second. She's going to think you're saying F you. Bless your soul, boo-boo. How about that? We'll change it up. I'll say bless your soul. That way it doesn't come off as condescending. Keep going? Y'all want to keep talking about shit like this? Well, give me a direction, because we went from 1983 and how that was like stuff with like Stargate and remote viewing. It like went deep into that. And like that's when like the big, specifically the year 1983 was like a collective shadow was activated. That's when they started channeling stuff from like Pleiades, and the like the ascension thing like was created that year, or most heavily. It was really like, I guess now we would see that as being trending then. 85, you're almost killed? Oh my gosh. Unalived? Excuse me. Let me correct myself. You were almost unalived in 1985. Yeah, it wasn't like a harmonic convergent year that was like at like 1987, but 1983 was a pivot point energetically, especially in ways that weren't understood until later. That's what it was. That's how we got start talking about this stuff. Start talking about remote viewing, star seeds, people with gifts. People are channeling stuff from like Mars and the moon and stuff like that, or remote viewing, that kind of stuff. And that's how we got talking about star seeds and that kind of stuff. 2027. Wait, what do you mean 2027? Because I've been getting a lot of downloads about 2027. 2027 is supposed to be some sort of like big year, like collectively something big's supposed to happen. And y'all, this is just a dream. It's just a reoccurring dream I've been having since 2023. What is remote viewing? Okay, so this is like, the CIA has a lot of information on remote viewing. All the information that they have on stuff like that, channeling, remote viewing, they've only released to the public 0.5% of what they know. And a lot of people have a hard time handling that 0.5%. So think about if you knew all of it. But anyway, remote viewing. It's when you can see something, but you're not physically there. So let's just say I was to sit here. It's kind of like scrying. Have you ever seen Game of Thrones? And one of the Northmen, he can like see from a hawk. He can see what the hawk sees. I don't even know if y'all got into that show, but his eyes roll in the back of his head. His eyes get all white, but he's seeing what the hawk sees. It's like that. That's the best way I can explain it. It's like I'm sitting here in a room and I've got like a blindfold over my eyes and I can see what's going on in a whole different country. They had people doing that, but it was like from the moon, and like they were channeling stuff from Mars, and then all of a sudden they took it a bit further, like, and then the Monroe Institute has a whole course. They have a whole, oh shit, I hear that bang. Gene Key 55, if y'all know those, it talks about 1987, 2012, and 2027. Yeah, 2012 was another one. That was like another like pressure cooker time frame. We'll talk about that in a minute, or maybe later. I've been here a while. I still got personal readings to do, y'all. They don't like that there's storms go around me. That's new activation. Hey, I'm sending that love and light back to you times 10. I can't see you, somebody I know, doing things, but it's orchestrated by a dark figure. Wait, what do you mean? You can't see you, somebody I know, doing things. Okay, I don't quite understand what it is that you're saying. That's why we all find in each other now. We will be called on to do. Yeah, y'all, that's the thing. I had this dream. I keep having this reoccurring dream. And the first time I had it was in 2023. And it was like tanks in the roads. It was like a blackout happened. And they were like literal tank, like our military tanks in our streets. There's people screaming. And it's like a lot of like looting going on. It's like freaking Fortnite right here on planet Earth. It's weird. It's a really trippy dream. I've had it more than once, and it's almost exact like the dream. Up until like around the time that I wake up, there's like a few differences that happen there, but the rest of it's exactly the same. It's very vivid. It's weird. I see a friend doing stuff you shouldn't be. Oh. You have really crazy dreams too, where we're prepared. I don't know that anybody could actually be fully prepared for this stuff. Like even like, you know, like maybe some of those people have been like, people are, what do they call them? What do they call them, y'all? There's a name for them. Doomsday peoples. Them people may be somewhat prepared. But I don't feel like anybody's fully prepared, like actually to experience it happening. Preppers, yeah, preppers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hi, Mac Daddy, how you doing? That's what I'm talking about. Y'all know what it is I'm talking about. See, I tell you, I'm from Mississippi. I don't say shit right. Ivy's Custom Life, welcome. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. Oh yeah, that was something else that we were talking about. The largest, most witnessed UFO waves in history was happening during this exact period, peaking in 1983. Isn't that crazy? Spiritually, we know deep down we will be at the same. Yeah, I feel like intuitively, I feel like we're feeling something come on. I feel like people are getting downloads, they're getting warnings or visions of it, or it's like they know that it's on the way. But I don't know that any of us are like 100% fully prepared for the experience it as it's happening. You know what I mean? You feel like you got lucky and landed in the right place? I had a dream of my ex coming here and turning everyone I know against me, and it happened 2 years later. That's part of that mission shit, though. That was supposed to happen. That was part of your destiny. It says it right here if you resonate with all this shit. That was one of them upheavals in relationships, karmic connections. That's what scares the op. Well, yeah, y'all, who said something about fluoride toothpaste? Y'all, there was this one time. It's 222. There's this one time I thought I was actually like looking into all like the remote viewing and shit. My kids are real big into Stranger Things. We love that show, Stranger Things. And I was telling them when it came out that there was like a real thing that had to, it was very similar to like what Stranger Things was about. Like MK Ultra. So anyway, I had gone into one of my hyper-focused deep dives or whatever, and I was learning all about like shit like that. And that's how I ended up learning about the Hemisync Institute. And they tell some people like, or that they were actually using those teachings that they do at the Monroe Institute, the Hemisync meditations. That they were doing that to Stargate children in the 80s. They'd pull them out of class. And they'd put the headphones on them. The big ass, y'all know what I'm talking about, big ass headphones. And have them listen to the Hemisync stuff to see what would happen. Like would they start channeling stuff? And some kids were even like saying, yeah, I remember getting pulled out of class for that. Or part of like special programs in school. You remember that? Yeah, they said they'd pull kids out of class and they'd have to go to this room and they'd have to put the headphones on and they'd have to listen to that man do the meditations on their short bus. Short bus. No, I ain't talking about no short bus. I ain't talking about no short bus, homie. That's not what I meant. Hi, y'all. You doing? Welcome. We ain't getting into that, okay? We ain't going there. Oh, you walk. Oh. Filter, reel it the fuck back in, Leo. Reel it back in. Don't go there. Okay, I'm here. It's not luck, it's destiny. You didn't even go to high school? I almost quit high school. My boyfriend at the time, he made me come pick him up from his house. And usually I just let him drive. I like being the passenger princess anyway. I'd rather somebody else drive. I'm gonna sit in the passenger seat. So anyways, he drives me to school, drops my ass off, and leaves with my car. He says, I'm not dating a high school dropout. I was skipping school all the time. Like my principal called my mama. Everything. Y'all, I was so pissed off at this motherfucker. I could not believe it. Because y'all know we already had that conversation. I hated school. It was a prison, right? We already had that conversation. Felt so confined. I was daydreaming and escaping everything anyway in my mind. And, you know, somewhere else. I was so mad. But you know what? I respected it. I respected it. Fucking hated it. But yeah, that's what we were talking about. Remote viewing and shit. Anyway, I found that, no, there was an app. They have an app, the Hemisync. They don't have all of the whole program on there. You may have to purchase it. It's like thousands of dollars. It's like going to a college. But if you go through the whole thing, that's when you start, like, supposedly, you start channeling interdimensional beings. They have a whole, like, series on it on the Gaia channel. Interdimensional something. Let me look it up. What's that show called? Anyway, I downloaded the app and did like the little bitty sessions. So one day, I thought it would be a good idea to do one of them DMT meditations. There's some random one I found on YouTube. It was free. Y'all, it was like 15 minutes in, and literally I could feel and hear cracking going on in my brain. It was some of the trippiest shit. I had to quit. I had to quit doing it. It freaked me out. So if you want to crack your third eye open and literally feel it and hear it, it's the DMT shit. It's the DMT meditations or visualizations. They got all different types of, like, I can't say it right. Y'all gonna laugh at me. The binaural beats. I don't say shit right. I know you know what I'm talking about, though. I know you're picking up when I'm throwing down. But that's weird. I accidentally pressed a bunch of letters and it looked up the broken heart syndrome. Somebody got a broken heart? We're not even talking about that shit. Broken heart syndrome. That's a real thing. It's a diagnosis. And it says men are more likely to die of broken heart syndrome. Takotsubo is the medical term. Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. Cardiomyopathy. Myopathy. CARDIOMYOPATHY. Damn. He's like, I ain't going out like that. Learned about literal broken heart. Physical response to intense stress or grief. That's true though. Okay, anyway, soundtrack. I saw that on the Guy channel too. What was that called? Emotion was the documentary. Talked about how, like, literally unresolved emotions in the body causes diseases and syndromes. Because I told you I had chronic widespread pain, and I was on my whole holistic healing journey. I learned about Joe Dispenza. All right, what's that show called? Interdimensionals on Gaia. You gotta have a subscription to watch the Gaia channel if you've never heard of it before. But was another show I really like to watch on that one. I think it's called Beyond Belief. That's a really good show. I passed out from a broken heart. The doctor told me suppress emotions. Yeah, if you suppress your emotions, I've heard that too. Like, grief can give you lung cancer. Isn't that crazy? Stress, unresolved stress in the body. That's like what fibromyalgia is. It's like your amygdala is stuck in flight or flight. And certain systems in the body they stay stuck in survival mode. You know, when you're in survival mode, your certain body systems, they take a back seat. Well, if you're like that forever, a syndrome it's not natural for the body to be that way, and it makes you sick. All right, it's called Interdimensional Guy. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Interdimensional. Is that what it's called? Yeah, interdimensional beings. So if y'all are interested in that, but they talk about the hemisync thing, and they did the Monroe Institute version from start to finish, all the levels, all the way up the levels. And then all of a sudden they started channeling beings from other places. There's like multiple people that can do it. But that's comes from the same people who did research for the CIA with remote viewing. So it's almost like the same thing, basically. If it's not the same thing, one and the same. You sit there and you meditate and you get to a certain level, and then you're able to expand your mind to the point where you can tap into other shit outside of what's around you. It's crazy. My uncle died, then my youngest son's father died 2 years ago, passed from grief. Oh, I believe that. From unexpected breakup. It's not always you love, it's when you stop loving instantly. That too. You've seen some wild stuff. You're heading down the path, working on it. Demons really don't want me at the love state of being. Of course not. That's something else, y'all. Y'all know I grew up Catholic. Okay. I grew up Catholic. So, you know, they've got exorcists in Catholicism. Like real ones. And there's this priest who's done thousands of exorcisms. They made a whole movie about him, The Priest. It's about a real priest who actually does that. And they did it. So I was watching him speak, the actual priest that the movie was about. And he was explaining it, that trauma, and it's the same way you learn this in Reiki healing. So this was like the Chinese medicine and energy healing talks about it in a different way, in a different belief system. But he was saying that trauma, when trauma happens, it creates rips and tears in our auric field. And that's where these dark attachments can literally attack us on a soul level. Because y'all, doctors know that souls are real. You know, that's not just a bunch of hocus pocus, wonky fadonky, frou-frou shit that we're talking about. There's something that actually happens when a body passes over. Like there's something that leaves their body. Other than just breath, other than just the brain shutting down, there's something else there that it leaves. You know? So, if you think of it in those terms, if your electromagnetic field, right, your aura, it's one and the same. Different belief systems, different terms for it. If you got rips and tears or interferences in your electromagnetic field, it creates spaces where other frequencies can interfere with your main circuit board, I guess is the best way to put it. So if love is one of the highest frequencies, is one of the highest vibrations, and those type of energies can't function there, they can't compute, they can't communicate there, they can't thrive off of it, they can't get energy off of that, then of course it doesn't want you to feel those things. You know? Yeah. It is. It is. Why do you think they're taking over our food? They want us to be just sick enough. Just sick enough to live a long time. So we need things like insurance and... what is it called? HMO? Which this insurance only gets you like about 7 minutes with the doctor. If you ever actually get to see an actual doctor. 7 minutes. For their expertise. Which is regulated. Which is regulated, by the way. Right? Just enough. But that's just that we're going all over the place with this. But yeah, if we're talking about like spiritually speaking, like like demonic things, yeah, it has something to do with trauma. Trauma creates rips and tears in your auric field, or interferences, spacing gaps in your electromagnetic field. Isn't that crazy? Scripture says only this kind leaves with fasting. That's another thing. Fasting is They've got centers where if you go and you fast long enough, it cures your cancer, because there's nothing for the cancer to eat off of. They fast the whole time, a water fast. That's incredible. You just starve it. You don't feed into it. That's the same thing with like these demonic things. You don't give it any power. You don't feed into it. If you already know what it's there for, you're already aware of what it wants, you just don't give it what it is that it's there for. You starve it. Your mom's not eating now, an opposite? Really? Yeah, connecting to Earth. Yeah, there's another document, y'all, these documentaries. I'm telling you, I'm a nerd. I'll get hyper-focused on something. I want to know everything about it. I'm looking it up, I'm researching it, I'm watching everything I can find to watch on it, and like, oh, like, y'all ever seen My Stepmother's an Alien? Oh, God, I wish I could just open a book and put my arm in it and just know everything that's in the book. Golly. I wish I could do that. You just bought that movie? That's crazy. Every time, wait, hold on, let me go up. Yup, dang, y'all comment a little bit too fast. I can't keep up with you. Let me send you some love. Hey, I'm sending the love like back to you times 10. I was caught myself in the middle of the den helping this girl get her kids back. Every time I attempted to move on from my SP, I keep getting signs of them still thinking about me. It was a trap. Could have been. Very well could have been. Hi, I'm just a shark. How you doing? I loved it. Had to get it. My daughter named is Celeste. Really? That's incredible. I wish I could be like that lady. Put my arm in a book. Just soak up all the information real quick. That's why I get frustrated. I'm not the fastest reader. Can you tell the way I talk? I'm good at reading. I'm just not fast at it. It's my ADHD. I'm neurodivergent. I'll get 4 pages in and not comprehend a word that I just read on the page. I gotta start completely over. It's like, wait, pay attention to the words that it is that you're taking in. It's not that I don't understand what the words are saying. It's just neurodivergent. I'm sitting here reading, but my brain is somewhere completely different. Oh, you don't read books? I love to read. It just takes me I have to start the book over a couple times and I'll get frustrated. So I read slow so I could pay attention to what it is that's in front of me. So you couldn't focus at school. I know. It's all over the damn place. Damn. Yeah, that's true. Reading's all where the good stuff is. Alright, y'all, I'll tell you what. We'll have another one of these deep dive conversations. Like I said, this was supposed to be a channeled reading. We're supposed to be reading about cards, talk about cards. Hi, Chichuela. How you doing, sweetheart? I pulled 4 cards, y'all, and it went into a whole conversation. That's all I pulled. You need the audio visual text. I do too. I need to be able to read from the book. Where's my little book? I need the whole chart thing right there in front of me so I could reference the chart, and I need somebody else reading it to me and show me what it is I'm supposed to be doing. I need all those things. Some people are like that though. Not everybody learns the same way, and I feel that was another thing that frustrated me about public school. Was like you had these group of kids that learn this way, that group of kids that learn that way, but you put all of them in the room all mixed up, of course you're going to have some that get left behind. What was it? Whoever created No Child Left Behind? Yeah, that's another reason why I pulled my daughter out of public school. Well, my son needed more attention because he was lazy. He was lazy, especially in the math department. He wouldn't sit there and check his answer. He'd just do it real quick and just put an answer. He wouldn't take the time to, like, you know. It's because they were timed or because he was being pressured. So he got in the habit of just not going back and checking his work to make sure that he got the correct answer. Like, you know, you need somebody to sit down and give him some more time with that. Plus, he was tongue-tied. And when I took him to the doctor before kindergarten, they told me it wasn't anything to worry about. But some kids just talked like that. They couldn't fully enunciate their words. Y'all, the way this kid talked, I had to speak for him. I knew what he was saying, but I also knew why all the other kids were picking on him for the way that he talked. You know what I mean? To Twila, they're still uploading. My past 3 collective readings and 2 sets of personal readings. There's like 3 different videos. They're all still uploading. They're not. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. They're just taking a long time to finish uploading. So I'm going to post to my stories and the little link that's there as soon as they get done. So y'all go back and watch those. So I'm sorry. The day I was wearing red. Yes. That was one of them. I apologize about that. About y'all having to wait so long. So yeah, that's me too, Jade. My son sounds like Elmer Fudd from Brooklyn. That's too cute. Your son been picked on also? Yeah, so he gets into kindergarten. And they had a parent-teacher conference. And they had some speech lady come talk to me and say, he needs surgery. He's tongue-tied. Y'all didn't even know that was like an actual thing where people could actually be tongue-tied. I thought that was just, you know, what people just had called people that. So he did. He had to go have surgery. He had to get his little tongue slit and everything. It's like, I'll be damned. The doctor told me he was fine. He gets in school. He's like, damn, you got to have a whole surgery. Shit. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. I can't say shit right. I guess that's where I was going. Oh, no. That's why he needed extra help in school. But that he wasn't getting. So my daughter, on the other hand, she was above grade. There was 2 other little girls in her class. So there's three students in the same class that were so far above reading level, the teacher couldn't go any further than that because of the other kids couldn't go that high. And I felt like that was a problem. So why can't you test kids and the ones that are learning the same, or the one, like, no matter what their age is, if they're learning this way, why can't you put them in a class? And the kids that are learning that way, I bet you wouldn't be as far behind as they are because they're getting the attention that they need in the way that they need it. Does that make sense? Private schools do that? Well, see, not everybody can afford private schools. I ain't got no $28K to send 4 kids to school a year each. I ain't even got credit cards. Yo, what you talk about? Private school. That's why they're homeschooled. I can afford that one. I can afford homeschool. Did you try speaking? Yes. He was actually in speech therapy. Both my son and my daughter were both in speech therapy. And then my youngest daughter, she never even made it to public school. I'd already started homeschooling it was 2nd grade for my son and 1st grade for my daughter. I pulled them out of school. I started homeschooling. So my youngest daughter, she never even made it there. I can't believe it. I never thought she was going to start reading. I thought I had messed up. 7 years old, she was still struggling to read, which most kids were reading by then. Gosh, she hated it. It was like trying to get an act of Congress to get that kid to sit down and just read to me. She always wanted me to read everything for her. It's like, no, you got to do it. You got to do it. Y'all, she loves to read. Loves to read. Her vocabulary is like, I hear other 10-year-olds talk. I'm like, and I'm aware, like, I have to remember that, okay, these kids don't have access to the same stuff that my kids are having access to. So I have to, I'm sure they're on grade level and they're on point and they're doing good in their class. But I have to remember that my kids get exposed to different stuff that they don't. And vice versa. My kids don't get exposed to the same social situations that kids in public school, you know, encounter. They also don't come home doing a lot of other stuff these in public school kids do. Don't you know you learned all the bad shit at school? From Billy Joe Badass in class? Or the bus? Oh, y'all, I used to learn the worst shit on the bus. I had to ride the bus to school. For a little while. So my dad was like, nope. No more. He started taking my ass to school. I liked that, though. We had a whole playlist that we listened to every morning. Let's see, we listened to American Pie, Blinded by the Light, Kansas, Carried on My Wayward Son, Journey, Don't Stop Believing. We had a whole playlist. We listened to the same songs every single morning. We stopped by the gas station. This is before they told you not to drink the energy drinks. I'd stop and get that Sobe energy drink, S-O-B-E, with the little chameleon on it, the lizard. Or was it a gecko? Geckos are chameleons. Or some of them are. Some breeds. Anyway, that was my favorite. The Sobe energy drink. The little lizards on it. And I'd get a banana nut muffin every morning. I even knew the little gas station lady up there. She used to give me free suckers. My memory is amazing. Yeah, I remember shit. I also have trouble not holding grudges too. You remember Sobe? I remember that energy. They don't make that shit no more. Now I know It Works. Y'all ever that crazy rap thing? I used to be a distributor for It Works. You could tow, tighten, and firm in 45 minutes or less. But they have an energy drink that tastes really similar to the Sobe, but they wanted way too much money for that little bitty ass can. Like, it ain't that good. Y'all, they wanted like $30 for a pack of 4. And they're like little 8-ounce drinks. No. I was a distributor for the company. I wouldn't even be buying that. I wouldn't even bought it on discount for my retailer. I would know. It's ridiculous. Forgiveness lessons, yes, they are. Like the elephant, I'm like that. Yes. Yo, I can remember this girl who did me. She kept calling me the wrong name in kindergarten. I have a lot of healing to do, okay? I'm still healing from that girl. But she would say my name wrong on purpose. If I ran into that girl right now at the grocery store, man, I'd give her a piece of my mind. I don't know that I'd be able to have a filter. Why does that irk me so bad? My face. It does, y'all. She'd purposely say my name wrong. I'm still... One has to be the higher self to forgive. Oh, I forgive her. She's forgiven, but that don't mean that it don't bother me none. I ain't fully healed from that, okay? I admit it. I know, I'm aware. A little petty to some people. It means something to me, though. I'll be real about it. I'm still human. By the way, y'all be careful about some of these other people telling you about 5D consciousness, and some of these people really are. They're all... Love and light to me doesn't mean what love and light means to other people. You gotta love for yourself, and sometimes you gotta enlighten a motherfucker with the knowledge, light, the truth. Love and light. Not always. I do believe that we should be living in love and light, but you got other people out there saying love and light, and they're all in the toxic positivity. Sometimes some of these low vibrational experiences are meant to teach us something, and I ain't done learning my lessons. I'm still waiting on spirit to learn me something, okay? I'm still learning. I ain't mastered that class yet. I love the pink mangoish looking one. Can't remember the name now. Hi, Mandy. How you doing, Mandy? Yeah, hey, look, I could be good to others. I wish her all the best in the world, but if I ran into her into the grocery store, I'm going to say something to her about it. Kind of like my sassy affirmations. Where they at? It's exactly what I would say. I'd get sassy as shit. Go, listen, bitch. My name is, and it's pronounced, it's spelled like, that's what I have to say about that. Emma. That's not her name. I made that up. It's close, but that's not her name. I messed up, y'all. I didn't know people were watching me from my local community one time. This is right when I first started live streaming. And I didn't realize I was being set up. Somebody came in there and asked me a bunch of questions about this and that. And I'd tell my stories. And I would say the person's real name. I don't do that no more. I learned the hard way. I was trying to be secret about what it was I was doing. And somebody done found out. They say, hey, Leo's live. Go ask her questions. She gonna talk shit about you. It wasn't nothing I wouldn't say in nobody's face. Yeah, I'd say it to their face. I just probably, probably shouldn't have been saying their real name. It was a lesson. I learned that one fast. Real fast. You make real great friends. Yeah, don't get me drinking either. I'm 5 foot and then I turned into 50 foot. I talk so much shit. That's another reason why I don't need to drink. Shit gets started and it's usually me. I'm the instigator. I need to go sit the fuck down on the corner and be like, damn, Geralt of Rivia in The Witcher. I need to go sit my ass down, shut the fuck up, keep my moment damn business. Just take it all in. Take notes. Who's doing what, when, where, and why. Don't talk to nobody. I'm just being honest. That's what happens. I get to talking shit. Don't bump into me. Don't look at me funny. Because I will say something about it. Your keyboard wasn't working. It's no bueno. I don't drink very often anyway. I don't like drinking in public places. If I am going to drink, I like to be in a very safe, controlled environment. Like I know who it is that's around me. My feelings were hurt. Yeah, they were hurt. My feelings are still hurt over that shit. I think it was deeper than her just saying my name wrong. She treated me like I was stupid. Used to be like that. I hate drinking out. Yeah. I will though. If you get me in a certain state and we drink, I could sit up on the balcony and people watch and just yell over the balcony. Don't take me to the club. I got thrown out a few times for physical altercations. That being and drinking underage. I got in trouble for drinking underage. One time I got kicked out. They had my picture up at the counter. They wouldn't even let me in no more. It's in Jackson, Mississippi. Called Electric Cowboy. Was the name of the club. The club. It wasn't really a club. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Probably not what it is that y'all are used to. Yeah, I got kicked out too many times. They had my picture up at the front. But I always feel like I can wrestle an alligator after. Yeah, that's not smart though. That's alright. This is not smart. You know what I mean? You're purposely putting yourself in situations, That's what it was called. Electric Cowboy. They had the bull in there and everything. Over there in the corner. You say no bueno. Really? Yeah, no bueno. That's no bueno. You don't you don't want to be about that life. I got barred from a bar 5 times. Did you really? Yeah, see. Oh, you were kicked out of lots of places. See, I don't want to be known for that shit. Look at the AI, y'all. Past memories and grudges. Share your own. Yeah, you're no longer that person. Yeah, I don't want to be known to be that person. I don't want to be telling stories to my grandbabies and be talking about how I got kicked out of bars. I'm gonna be like Grandmother Willow. They're gonna call me Grandma Leo. Grandma Leo, and I'm gonna be like Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas. The spirits are all around you, child. I'm from Chi, but I'm elsewhere now. I lived up to what people expected. Well, that's good. That's good. Call me Grandma Leo. I'd be all wrinkled and Native American looking like Grandmother Willow from the Pocahontas. My boyfriend works at Mechanic Bull. Controls it down the Fort Worth stockyards. Oh, really? I thought you were going to say Fort Leonard Wood. I was like, what you know about that? They said you'd be dead by 30. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that, sweetheart. Yeah, but there's a reason, y'all. There's a reason why I get on my high horse. You know, I've told y'all. People are going to tell you that, what are you on that? Why are you on your high horse? Why do you have a pedestal? I built mine. I put myself up there. That's why I'm there. And I don't care what anybody else has to say about it. Nobody wanted to be my cheerleader. Nobody wanted to root for me. So I voted and rooted for me. That's where all that comes from. Yeah, I'll toot my own damn horn. Toot toot! I'll ring my own damn bell. I'll just make my own, right? That's how you feel every day. You feel that every day. All right, y'all. I'm going to end this one. I got personal readings that I got to take care of real quick. Like I said, this was supposed to be a reading, and it turned into a whole damn deep-ass conversations about starseeds and aliens and experiences and healing and unhealing or unhealed. I don't really think you can unhealing people that are unhealed, not healed yet. So I will see y'all again soon. We'll have to do this again. We'll have to do another deep dive. We'll get some like a little random topic about some of these conspiracy theories. Maybe we'll learn about them. We can learn together. It's nice to meet you too, sweetheart. All right, y'all. I love you. I love you. I love you, star seeds. Keep shining bright. Y'all know I'm going to say it. If your light ain't irritate nobody's demons, boo-boo, turn up the heat. Make them cringe. Make them put on their hater shades or turn and look away. They grown-ass adults. All right, y'all. Till next time, love and light.